or any overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. These methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On the top of my list is age, but it is there because it only starts with an A. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, size of plantations, attitudes of owners, whether the slaves live in the valley, on a hill, east, west, north or south, have fine or coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of the differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The black slave, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pick the old black versus the young black males, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also have your servants and overseers distrust all blacks. But it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kits are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. My plan is guaranteed. And the good thing about this plan is that if used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Good morning, London Town. Welcome along to the Big Gen 1 91.6. We got to say enough respect, sister. Oh, yeah, no, you change your name now. Slushy B, another part of the HB crew. That's how we call it. One love and travel safe. Yeah, London Town, we're here. We're in the camp. People's Talk Show today. You know, trying to start off a little differently. You know that number, but before we give it out to you all that don't know it, we're going to tell you what today's subject is about. That what you just heard, that speech was read, it was put together by a man called William Lynch. For all regular listeners, you all done already know it. But you know, Genesis listeners increase every day in numbers. You know, we're getting new listeners all the time. So we'll keep plugging that, we'll keep showing you that, we'll keep telling you that, we'll keep playing you that, and letting you know that it's coming from a long way back. Well, first of all, we've got to say enough respect and big up to all of the Genesis massive out there in the London Town region. Hope you all had a nice strong last 7 days. Seen, and for all of the DJs that was out last night, out and about town playing and entertaining the crowds, I hope everything went crisp with honor. Well, London Town, another Sunday has reached. Commissioners in the air for the moment. I don't know, you know, we may get someone else coming in with us. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Now, I've got to give you all some information before the phone lines are open, just before we start, you know. Just to let you all know some of the things that's been going down this week. And at the same time, remember, it is the People's Talk Show. So if there's anything that you would like to discuss, if there is anything that you feel needs to be brought to the attention of the wider community, black community, well then you can give us a call. Okay? First thing on the agenda, London Town. Now, we haven't covered this for quite a while, but, you know, there's been quite a lot of media coverage and television coverage of the Lawrence family plight. Okay, the case of Stephen Lawrence. Now, we've got the Daily Mail here, and listen to this. A major public inquiry is to be held into the race murder of black teenager Stephen Lawrence 4 years ago. Home Secretary Jack Straw will announce next week that he is ordering a wide-ranging independent investigation headed by a senior judge into the unprovoked stabbing of the 18-year-old South London student. His decision follows this newspaper's 5-month campaign for justice for the Lawrence family. It was launched in February after 5 white suspects used a loophole in the law and refused to give evidence at an inquest into Stephen's death on the grounds that it might incriminate them. I think we know, because we've been following it very closely, you know, as I said, this may be just the last month. But other than that, we've been following it very closely. And we do know what the situation is in terms of these geezers walking out of the inquest, you know, and it was plain to see, clear as day, they had done what they'd done. There was secret video footage showing them in their house explaining what they would do to niggers, and for some reason it wasn't used as evidence. Well, 4 years later, milestone of a way, after going through, you know, the Lawrence family went through the prosecution service, they had to raise funds, they went through the whole thing, okay? Daddy Lawrence at one time, you know, I feel got a bit despondent because of the justice system in this country and the negativity of it. And, you know, sometimes, and I'm speaking now as a daddy, sometimes, you know, you can see things going and you know directly that it's not the way it's supposed to go. And if this doesn't get sorted out, you're going to have to take the situation into your own hand. Well, Daddy Lawrence, you know, and I'm just speaking from my heart, my personal observations, because he hasn't spoken to me and I haven't reasoned with him. But as a dad, you know, when I looked at him, I felt the injustice was so terrible, you know, that he had to get out of this country. He had to get out of this country, even for a break. Had to get out, recuperate, gather back his thoughts and come back again. Because these things take so much out of you. We could never begin to understand how much something like this will take out of you. As much as we try, you know, and say we can offer our support and that, but until it happens to you, you know, you never truly know the full pain, the full feeling, you know, the wrenching feeling that's going on inside your stomach, and your heart just can't settle and your mind is just racing and you just keep thinking, and for a long time it seems as though you're just existing. You're not living, you're just existing, you know. But as I said, 4 years on, Daddy's back now. Mummy's been keeping up the struggle all the time that Daddy was recuperating, all right? And, you know, sometimes you've got women, well, not even sometimes, you know, but a lot of men now accept and respect the fact that women are stronger in, I'd say, especially emotional situations. Men are stronger in physical situations, most men anyway. But in emotional situations where it takes, you know, the skills of using the invisible side of us and dealing with that side, the women have got it sussed a bit better than the men. And Mummy Lawrence continued, carried on, held up her head with dignity, pride, you know, and didn't even think of sinking to the gutter level that these people wanted to make this thing from the day it started. You know, she held her head high. Now, Mummy Lawrence is a good example. You see, to all of our black, especially our younger sisters, you know, here is a woman that was going through the most turmoil, the most pain, the most hurt. Again, men, a man cannot know what it is, what a woman feels like when she loses a child. When she loses a child, you know, that she had in her stomach for 9 months. You know, so take the example of Mummy Lawrence, because she carried herself in such a manner that she was just an icon for the whole of the community. The whole of the community. Now, personal feelings, and I'm not going to take, this doesn't take anything away from the efforts of the family and the legal representation that they had, but personal feelings, again, I feel Genesis Radio had a part to play in this, you know. Tony Blair and them, man, they listened to Genesis, and whether you want to believe it or not, I'm telling you, they listened to Genesis. You know, and they made a point of making that one of the first things they addressed when they actually got in to Parliament. You know, is it a token gesture to the black community, or are they serious? Do they really want to get to the bottom of this? You've had a national paper name these people. We've seen what they, you know, what their thoughts are regarding other races. And the national paper even went to the point to say, well, look, if you were wrong, sue us. Sue us. That's all you've got to do. Nothing was said. So, London town, the Lawrence family, you know, after coming 4 years of hard toil and struggle, it seems that a situation has come about now where justice may be served. Maybe. You know, but what does that mean to us now? Should it take that long for the right thing to happen? Should it take, you know, 4 years of struggle, of going and talking, of seeing these murderers and not being able to see them get their just deserts? 4 years. What do you think? That's the first topic of the day, okay? And we want to be very rational about this because, again, you know, we have to be careful not to offend the family in any way, not to hurt their feelings, you know, and just to deal with it like the people that we really are. First piece for the day. Secondly, these police, man, I don't want to, you know, but I have to. I was passing through Catford, I think it was Tuesday afternoon, one of these afternoons, earlier part of the week. Police like crazy opposite the job centre in Catford. Police like crazy. Van loads, everything. Whole heap of youths, black people, not just youths, but black people. And remember, the children are off on holiday, okay? Whole heap of black people standing up in the road, all looking in one direction. You know the usual look, London town. You know, we're all focused on one particular thing. And on some faces you can see absolute shock, horror, total disbelief, total disgust. But we're all focused on one thing. I don't know what happened, but the police come to arrest a man. That was their intention. They came to arrest him, even though he's the one that called them for assistance. They arrested him, took him away. Now the people stood up, and the people was very, very, very disappointed. Even in you know, the manner of the police, it was a very confrontational situation. I saw a friend that I hadn't seen for years, just come back from St. Lucia. You know, I saw him out there, and he said to me, boy, I'll come back today, you know, and I'm not staying there. I'm leaving the end of the week, because this is the first thing I come and I see out on the street, police harassment, okay? Should we take this call, London town? Okay, we're going to take the first call of the morning. Good morning, you're in tune to Genesis 91.6 FM. What's your name and from where are you calling, please? Good morning, brethren. Hello?
Take my foot here.
Sorry?
Take my foot here.
Okay, hold on a sec. London town, I'll be back with you in 1 second. Yeah. Well, I'm Nick Bridging. If I'm getting any murderous calls or anything, we now deal with it. Okay, London town, back on the other side. No murder today. We don't want them. See? We're trying to go forward progressively. So let's do it collectively and in love. You know, and as I said, we're going to try, in dealing especially with the Stephen Lawrence situation, let's try and be mindful of the parents, you know, and of the ongoing situation. Let us try and be mindful of the fact that because now a new legal process has started up, we can't be seen to be, you know, pressurizing them, putting them in a corner too much. Should we let the legal process run its course? Okay. Now, as I was telling to you, this police business again, yet again. Walking through Catford, as I said, both situation, saw these people. Brother called the police for some incident, you know, must have been a domestic or something. Anyway, he ended up getting arrested. As I said, I saw a bridge and I hadn't seen him from years, from since school. And he said, boy, I ain't staying here, I'm leaving end of the week, you know. After all these years, he said to me, you mean to say, after all these years, it's the same thing? Because we went through it as school children. Anyway, we stood up there. The police radioed some more vans. Bam! More vans come. These police come out. And hear the joke, you know. There was one black policeman. He looked like a mini Arnie, you know what I mean? A mini Terminator. And he came out of this van with a look on his face like he was, I don't know, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, I want some of this. That kind of look on his face. And these children are standing up. And this people have come out now. One woman, little police woman, this is what I can't, you know, one little police woman, of all the people that was out there, London town, this woman come up to me and my friend and said, what you doing standing here? I said, what are you talking about? What am I doing standing here? It's a public road. Well, you should move on. So I said, move on for what? I'm telling you that you should move on. Now, she's got a colleague with her, a man, big 6-footer, and he's looking totally embarrassed. And she's there, move on. I said, I ain't moving nowhere. It's a public place. Well, you tell me I can't stand up here. She said, I'm going to go and walk around, and by the time I come back, you better be gone. So, we're there, you know, and we just can't believe this. Anyway, there was a set of children behind, 13 school children, you know, and obviously from this woman's attitude and from this little Arnie punk's attitude, they wanted something to kick off. So I turned to these children, I said to them, listen, you all, leave now, go home, all right? The last thing you want to do is get arrested, see? So just come out of the area. Now, we people, listen, people are saying, and people are always putting down the black community and saying we're this and we're that, and we ain't got no unity, and we will never get together, and rare. Let me tell you something. You see those children, young men, they listened. They listened. And in fact, there was one youth, and I want to big you up, because as soon as he saw the vans coming, pulling up, more vans, you know, vans there already, as soon as he saw these vans coming, he said to his friends, let's go. And his friends were saying, nah, man, go for what? See? So they listened in the end, and they took their time and respectively and decently walked away. Now, as for the police girl, she never came back to me again. And I didn't go nowhere, London town, because I wanted to see what she was going to come back and tell me. So I'm standing up there. She never come and told me nothing. People started to drift away. The brother that got arrested, I think his queen was in the car. His queen was in the car. And she was crying. We're going to go back to this. Good morning, you're in tune to Genesis. Your name, please?
Good morning, it's James calling from East London.
Yes, brother James. What would you like to say to London town?
Yeah, what I want to say, one thing that's really getting me down, or what happens is when a show is promoted and they say that certain artists are going to be at the show, and the artist name up in lights and big thing, and you pay your good money and go in the place, and then the artist don't. The artist isn't there, and that happened this week and I want to just make it public that this happened at the Astoria this week.
With who? Israel Vibration?
Yes.
What?
Israel Vibration, yeah.
They wasn't there?
No.
Boy.
Yeah, and Prince Lincoln and the Royal Ratties was there. But, you know, it's just wrong that they advertise these things. Mm-hmm. And you go and spend your money. I mean, Israel Vibration is the people that would carry the crowd. They had their name up outside, you know, Israel Vibration, and then went inside and there was no Israel Vibration. So
well, you know what, and as you raise that point there are some promoters out there, you know, that's got this thing where they will put men on their bill, put names of artists on their bill, and haven't even spoken to the artists and advertise in that manner, and that's what makes them their money.
Yeah. But this one as well, it was His Majesty's birthday, the 23rd of July. So it was so important that this should have been tried to honour their, what they said. And inside the place, I mean, I never knew until it was over that these rail vibrations weren't coming on. And I reached there at 10 o'clock and left there about 12 o'clock gone.
And there wasn't no announcement or nothing?
Nothing, no, I didn't know, I didn't know what happened. And it's really, it really made me sad.
Okay, well, maybe the promoters or someone involved with that promotion is out there listening, and they might call us in and explain to us what the situation is.
Yeah, and another thing,
yeah,
just a good point to perhaps discuss is this week up in South Yorkshire, they had a black man go on an identification parade, and they blacked up, I don't know how many, if it's 8 or something, white men's faces to make them look black.
So they're still doing the old black and white minstrel show?
Yeah, black and white minstrels, yeah. They did that for an identification parade for a black man.
And who was chosen out?
Well, no, they did, it didn't actually, the black man solicitor didn't allow it to
go ahead.
To go ahead. But that was what they actually tried. They tried to paint white people's faces to make them look black.
Why is that? Because there's no black people up there?
Yeah, or they can't get black people to
come and join ID parades.
Join ID parades, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's just another subject I thought might be an interesting, something to make people know that happened.
Okay, Bridging.
All right, then.
Enough respect for that. First call to say.
All right, then.
Keep it locked.
All right.
Okay, London Town, I'm going to give you all the number, 0958-504-906. All right, we're sticking with the police situation. And as I said now, get back to this incident. The sister was left there in the car, parked up on the road. Police have gone with you don't want to hear the rest of this, do you? Good morning, this is Genesis. Your name, please?
Oh, good morning. Can I just turn my radio?
Sorry?
Just want to turn my radio.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Genesis. This is Annette from Crystal Palace.
Yes,
the caller who just called in, I just really wanted to make a comment about what he said about the man who was blacked up. I mean, a whole heap of people who was blacked up on one man in that front line, and they were looking for a black man. And what we need to be careful as black people, I think, is not to take these things on board, because these people know what they're doing.
Yes.
It's intentional,
yes,
and it's just a red herring to stop us from dealing with our real issues, okay? So just so that we're aware and a bit more focused on what we need to be doing and not what they want us to be thinking about.
That's the truth.
Okay?
All right, sis.
Okay.
Enough respect for that.
All right, one love.
Yes, London Town. Boy, you all are ready today, yes? That's what we like to hear. It's the People's Talk Show. It's here for you all, and, what you want to say, you say. Now, I'm going to finish off this thing. Quickie. I ended up going to the sister. She was left in her car, spoke to her, asked her if she was all right. They called an ambulance for her. And, obviously the sister was under some stress because just the sheer number of police, and as I said, it turned out that it's the brethren that called the police, and they ended up taking him. It was just a sad situation, London Town. At the end of the day, everything dispersed. Everyone went their way. I did say to the sister, I'd phone her, and I haven't found her yet. So if you're listening, sis, or if it's the brother, that went through, because we'd really like to know, I would like to know what happened. How did, from there, from when they took you off the street, what did they do? Where did they take you? Well, because it was a madness. The amount of police that was out there, you would have thought it was a riot going on in the area. Now, as I keep saying, it's summer holiday. Our children are out there. And it does seem there are some police. You heard that last week and the week before, the brothers that was outside their house, and the brother that got a lick in his head with a baton and dropped his baby. It does seem that some of these police, man, have got a different agenda. They have a different agenda, London Town. So you know what? If you've had any experiences with the police this week, and I don't want we're not going to really go into no elaboration, long story. But generally, I want to know, what is their attitude? What, you know, how do you find them? What's their attitude? Have you seen a change in them, or is everything normal as usual? And sticking with them for a little while longer. Big up, Brother Ron. 2 cops have been arrested over an alleged paedophile ring in the Mormon church. It is claimed a sergeant and a PC won a high group which preyed on up to 20 children as young as 5. The officers have been suspended. A 6-month inquiry by police and social services centered on a West Country Mormon church. 2 police, one is a sergeant and one is a PC, suspended from duty while, you know, investigations are further carried out into their activities as pedophiles. Police, you know, we're talking about British Metropolitan, whatever they call West Country Police. You hear? Part 2. A policeman was jailed for 2 years yesterday for getting a garage boss to steal a car for him. Shane PC John McAvee, 37, clutched the dock rail and shook his head in disbelief as he was sentenced. McAvee wanted a Honda Civic for parts to repair a pal's damaged car. He used the police national computer to find a suitable Civic and got details of the woman owner. The crooked officer wrote him down for garage boss Leslie Burkerstaff, knowing he had a conviction for handling. Liverpool Crown Court heard Judge Marshall Evans told McAvee, you pressurized. Ooh, then some of them judges come out with some big word. Oh, he's spitting too. You pressurized Mr. Bickerstaff in his vulnerable position to go into that innocent car owner's premises and steal her car. McAvee, a father of 3 from Alton, Lancashire, had denied incitement to steal. His barrister said he faced victimization once other prisoners found out about his former job. Can you believe this? This is the police. You understand? This is the police, the same police that was out there the beginning of this week, the same police that when the Bridgen said he looked on their face, he saw something he's never seen in his life a couple of weeks ago. The same police that's going to be policing our children out there as they're walking up and down. The same police are stealing cars, are into pedophilia, and you know what? There's other clippings and other things that these people are doing. Listen, something is wrong, government. Government, something is wrong. You have National Police computer files on how many thousands of people, and you got these crooks using it, exploiting it. You see now when we talk about policing ourselves, you see when we talk about let's do something for ourselves, you can understand why. How are you going to look at us and tell us we must put trust in the police? And these stories are in your papers, national papers, about what these people are doing. Which one of you are going to come to us and say to us, look, we're going to take the police on task? How comes Condon? What are you doing? You're so ready to stand up and say all black children are muggers or all black males are muggers. What about your staff? They're working for you. They're responsible to you. Do you look at the things they're doing? What are you going to tell the black community? Good morning, Genesis Radio. Your name, please.
Sandra from Peckham.
Yes, Sister Sandra.
Well, to tell you the truth, as far as I'm concerned, black people deserve exactly what they get, because I'm out on the street, I was telling you about this African thing that we're trying to exchange for children and all the rest.
Yes.
Well, I'm out on the street asking black people for simple little 10 pence to 50p, even to a pound. They can't even put their hands in their pocket and pull out 150 pence or 10 pence. Yet they can run up to Brockwell Park, spend £4 to £5 on them games and all the rest of it, and get to advanced black people they don't want to know. So at the end of the day, as I said, I used to think that, no, it wasn't our fault, all the rest of it, but at the end of the day, I'm really coming to the point. In 1816, there was a famous black woman, I can't remember her name, I'll have to get back to you in the name. And she was trying to advance her black race, you know.
Yeah.
And she said that walking around in America, to see black people made her sick to the stomach. And to tell you the truth, when I was out there asking black people for money, it sick me to the stomach because they don't want to put their hands in their pocket and they don't want to, you know. So at the end of the day, good luck to them. I know where I'm going. I know I'm doing my bit. But at the end of the day, if they don't want to do their bit, then we're doomed as far as I'm concerned.
So then, sons, I might as well go home.
Might as well go home because at the end of the day, I find that black people don't want to advance us. I'm trying to explain to them what it's for and all the rest of it. They just don't want to know. They just don't want to know. So all them black people that can go out to Brockwell Park and spend up their big money, I hope you all go to hell. I'm sorry, but I'm getting to the point where I'm just thinking to myself, should I just give up?
Now, will you see one thing that you must never do? Never give up. Even if them people,
For
they
real.
give up, you know, you never give up. Because the day we give up, we become just like them.
You know, because I was listening to Biggie's show on Sunday, and he got that stupid idiot phoning up saying that he's supporting that butty boy, you know what I'm saying, spending him £150. But would he put his hands in his pocket and send a black child to Africa? Would he? I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So at the end of the day, if they want to keep into that stupid mentality, then, you know, at the end of the day, as I said, it's for us black people to root out these Uncle Toms and these house niggers and really sort them out. You know? And just want to promote down Conscious Black Sisters, if you're up there listening, down Lewisham Centre today, 4:30, to educate ourselves and further our black race, yeah?
That's Lewisham Education Centre today,
Yeah.
4:30.
It starts at 5 o'clock to 9. So
Okay.
any Conscious Black Sisters out there, come and let's all get together and educate ourselves.
Did you hear that? Going out to all conscious black sisters today down at the
At Lewisham Way Centre.
Lewisham Way Youth and Community Centre.
Yeah.
Our meeting starts 5 o'clock for all of our sisters out there that want to just, you know, progress in the struggle.
Okay?
Big up for that, Sandra.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, keep it
Bye.
locked.
Peace.
Boy, London Town, is that the case? You know, I've been hearing a lot of that, you know, from people saying, boy, black people are just in a state. They're just in a state. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're going. Is that the case? Really, is it? And as I said to you, I saw them brothers, the young men, them out in Catford, and they was diligent. They was watching what happened, and they was respectful, and they left when they had to. Good morning, this is Genesis Radio. Your name, please?
Hi, Commissioner, it's Diane.
Good morning, Sister D.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm okay, but I listened to the last sister who called,
Yes.
and I'm not at her point, but I'm not far from.
Oh, my gosh. As well?
Because really and truly, I'm glad you're talking about the children who are now on holiday,
Yes.
okay? And it's, you know, it's 6 weeks, it's a long holiday, and so on and so forth. And I'm glad that you brought up the thing about the police, because we've got to realize that we are black people in a hostile society.
That's right.
When we were used to this society, things were fine. Now that they want the jobs that we have, things not so sweet anymore.
That's right.
And we need to realize that. But you know what I do still, right?
Yes.
You know that I work with kids who've been labeled as problem children.
Yeah, excluded
Okay.
from school.
You know that.
Yes.
And I do my best towards them, and most of them have really put some effort into it and so forth, but there's something I have got to say, okay? And that is, we took some kids on a trip recently, and one of the kids had a 3-inch bullet
Yes.
on his keychain, right? Now, this thing looks...
bullet.
A 3-inch bullet.
Bullet.
Something that would look like it would go in a rifle.
Okay.
Now, I've never seen anything like this in my life,
Okay.
okay? And the people who took us were community liaison officers from the police force. And this child had this thing swinging about, okay? And I thought to myself, my Lord and my God, you know, we're out to the street, we're in a white neighborhood.
Yes.
They get picked up for being threatening. Now, what can I say? The child has this thing in his hand.
That's right.
Now, I ask you, if you are a parent with a 13-year-old son, are you going to let him out on the street with something like that on his keychain? The same chain that he has his house keys on.
That's right. So it's like the parents must know.
The parents must know. It's totally impossible to me that the parents can't know. The key ring itself is a skull. You know the pirate symbol, skull and crossbones?
Yes.
It's just a skull without the crossbones. The child calls himself Killer.
Killer.
And he has a bullet on his keychain.
So, boys, I don't know. I don't know.
No. I'm a fairly patient woman under most circumstances, right?
Yes.
But I didn't just see red. I saw every color of the rainbow. And I said to the child, give me the keys.
Yes.
And I showed it to my colleague, and I said, please, 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 talk to these parents, and I know you're trying to get him help, and get it to him quickly.
Yes.
Because this child is not going to last in this society with this kind of attitude. Right? And then when things happen, we cry racism. But often we make things bad for ourselves.
Yes.
Because we set up these false expectations for children. I mean, one of my children who's what? I think he's 14 or 15.
Yes.
Right? Now, I love him to pieces, but this child can barely read. And he said to me, Miss, will you buy me a 50-pound pager? Now, what is a 15-year-old doing with a pager?
And he can't hardly read.
And he can hardly read.
So what's he going to do with the pager? Just listen to it.
I said to him, look, when you can spell alphanumeric, I'll get you the pager.
When he can spell alphanumeric.
Numeric.
Right.
Because
you know
these
what I want you
pages
to
are
do?
alphanumeric.
Hold on, Sister D. I want you to spell that word for all of the children listening. Right?
And then he can come ask me for the pager. You think I'm crazy?
Well, you know, they got to learn somehow, innit?
Well, I'm willing to teach them, but you know me already. You know that though I was born in England, I grew up in Jamaica and trained in the States. So I'm a Jamaican, yeah?
Yes.
Now, I cannot understand British culture at all.
How long did you spend here before you moved? What age did you leave here?
I was 9.
Okay.
Because I got into all sorts of fights at school, and I think my parents figured, you know what's true? We're going to get this child out of this country in one piece.
Yes. So then you actually went through that thing. You went through some of it yourself, because if you're saying at the age of 9, you was involved, you used to get in fights and that, you know. Was that because you was a bully, or was it because of the, you know, just what you was facing in the school?
Well, it's what I was facing. I concede that. It's like I understand. Well, put it this way: I wouldn't start a fight, but I wouldn't walk away from one either.
Yeah, you stand up for yourself.
I'd stand up for myself. And I had my best friend was the soft type, so she used to get bullied.
Yes.
And so I would sort of take over and like beat them up.
Okay.
And like not having it. But I decided when I was very young, I said, look, no one's going to call me stupid. So I was number 1 in my class at all times. Even
though you were already at this reputation as being a bully.
So I wasn't a bully.
Well, not a bully, but of being what they call nowadays a kind of problem child. Then.
I was, well, put it this way, because I made the grade.
Yes.
They tended not to mess with me. All right, she'd get in the occasional fight.
Yes.
But she's winning awards for the school, so we'll sort of leave her alone.
Okay, because as long as she's bigging up the school's name, everything's fine.
Everything's more or less fine. Okay. And it's like what I want to communicate to the parents out there and to the children out there is the idea that it is pointless getting your kids 100-pound trainers when they cannot read, they cannot write, they have no numeracy skills at all.
Okay.
And so when they get out of school, they'll be unemployable. Don't talk about them being unemployed and nobody hire me and blah, blah, blah. They can't be employed because they can't function.
They can't represent themselves.
They cannot represent themselves.
Okay.
And so it's like, next week period, I would encourage all parents to just sit down with their children, at some point and find out what's going on in school.
Yeah.
And, how are things going? And don't accept any excuses and, well, I don't know, or, the one-word answer, fine, and you leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a classic for children.
Especially boys.
Or even sometimes my children come in and I'll say, boy, how was school today? Fine, Daddy. I'll say, what do you mean fine?
Exactly. Ask questions.
Yeah.
Because the next thing you know, the child is flung out of school for X, Y, Z reason, and you have to be running around trying to find him someplace else to go.
That's right.
And they have it permanently on their record that they've been excluded. And they've already got a mark against them. They don't need this. And parents need to take an interest in what their children are doing.
That's the truth.
They need to take an interest before the police turn up on your doorstep to arrest your child.
Yeah, and they end up telling you what your child's been doing.
Exactly, and then you look like a fool and you don't have a leg to stand on.
That's right. That's right.
So, well, I'm not going to take up your show, but
Okay.
you know what I'm like still.
Yes.
And I was just really, really vexed with this particular child. And I hope that, I'm glad for those children who listen to you in Catford, because there are some out there who are prepared to listen.
That's right.
Yeah,
they're just looking for the right kind of guidance.
The right guidance. And I'm like, look, I was born in Thornton Heath. I started out like you, and God has blessed me, and I'm grateful for the blessing, and I'm trying to share it with you all, so don't give me aggro and grief. And realize that you need an education, because when you're 16, it's too late.
Yes, that's right.
So,
well, that's why, again, maybe why we've got so many, especially inner London colleges, full up with youngsters, black youngsters, and the people are just making money out of them, basically.
Well, because it's like when it was offered to you free on a plate, you never want it.
Yeah.
Or you follow, the big thing is following your friend.
That's right.
Right? And it's like if your friend, shoplifts, for example, when the police come, they're not going to ask which one of the group took it.
That's right.
They're going to take all of you.
That's right.
So it's no point saying, well, I wasn't the who actually picked it up and took it. You were there, and that's all it takes.
That's right. You was an accessory.
You're an accessory. You didn't do anything to stop it. So they think the police will take up you, and be quite glad to take up all of you too.
Yes. Yeah, for real.
So, just I hope, because I'm feeling like your friend from St. Lucia.
Yes.
And saying, boy, you know what? The time here is limited because I don't understand the society. And boy, I live near Gatwick, and I may as well go where I'm coming from.
It's the truth, and there's a lot of us are actually thinking in that same way, because they see the situation out there.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna leave you, and thanks for a productive show.
Okay, and thank you very much for phoning. Keep it locked.
No problem.
See you.
Bye.
Okay, London Town, we're going to go straight into this next call. Thank you, Sister D, for that call there. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Good morning, you're in tune to Genesis 916. Yes. Your name, please.
Yes, that Briggy?
No, it's Commissioner.
Commissioner, good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, Brethren. Who am I talking to?
This is Eddie from Hand Hill. I don't know if you remember me.
Yes. Where you been, Eddie?
Brethren, listen, I'm in a phone box, yeah?
Okay.
But a home phone that takes incoming calls only.
Yes.
So I beg you, give me 10 minutes.
Yes.
And call me, please.
I have not got your number at hand.
Don't you? Can I give it to you? If it's possible.
I'm just getting a pen. Okay.
0171
Mhm.
703
Mhm.
9665.
9665.
Yes, Bridget.
Okay.
Please.
Yes, Brethren.
I would appreciate that.
In a while.
Yeah, in a while. 10 minutes, yeah?
Yeah, all right.
Then, Bridget. Please.
Yeah, London Town at the same time, it's weekend, so, we can phone you. Maybe, make a little show with a difference. We'll phone you lot for a change. We're going to take this call. Good morning, you're in tune to Genesis 916. Your name, please, and from where are you calling?
Hello.
Yes, sis. What's your name,
Actually,
sis?
I've got something to say. My name.
Yes, please.
My name is Christina.
Okay, Sister Christina.
Simmons.
What would you like to say to
And
London?
basically, I'd like to say, I'm just absolutely fed up of hearing, these people blaming each other, us black people, for, the situation.
Which people
as
is that?
It is,
Which people is that, sis?
The black race. I mean, I think what I'm getting is that we seem to be blaming each other for the way things are turning out.
Yeah, I think so, because people are realizing, like you heard the sister said she went out in Brixton to try and collect even a 50 pence from black people to help send our children on cultural trips throughout the world. And the response was very, 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 very extremely negative.
Yeah, that's probably because of the way she approached these people.
You think so, really?
Yeah, I do. You simply have to approach certain people in a certain manner in order to get them to respond.
Well, then what?
To anything. What I've got to say is that I believe the problem will be solved when there's unity within the black family. And i.e., that is, learn to have respect for each member of your household.
So you're actually saying the same thing then? You're saying that the problem isn't with another nation, the problem is with us?
Yeah, look within the family. Treat your husband as your king, treat your wife as your queen, and treat your children as your prince and princesses.
That's the truth.
Listen to them, respect them, cherish them, nurture them, because we're all aware that we as the black race have been lacking this quality for centuries.
Yes.
Yeah, and we all know why that is. Now, this is 1997. Stop thinking about the past, and all the hurt, tribulation, and whatnot. And,
okay, well then, you see,
start doing it now, brothers. Each other to come over it, i.e., you're within the family member, because we all know we're all hurting.
So then what about the dysfunctional families? What about children that's, in families where, and there's enough of them, daddy's never around, mummy's always in a bad mood or cussing them because daddy's never around. What about these children?
Well, seek professional help, have a mediator to find out what the root of the problem is all about.
Okay, well, the whole of London town is hearing that.
Yeah, well, that's my advice to all of you brothers and sisters.
All right, sis, thanks for calling.
Okay, you're welcome.
You keep it locked.
Bye.
Yes, London town. 0958 504 906. That's the number you can call, and this is the People's Talk Show. Commissioner's in the house. And, boy, seeing as I haven't got no calls right now. Oh, look, phone's ringing. We're going to take this call. Good morning, Gen 1. Your name, please?
Good morning, brother.
Good morning, brother. Ron. How are you?
Not bad. I wasn't going to phone, but I really feel very strong about this last call. They say, we must forget our past. This woman, this sister, I don't call her a woman, I don't want to disrespect her. This sister is out of her mind. We must forget our past. What's she really saying?
She's saying really that we should just...
And then she's saying Sister Sandra probably didn't approach what Sister Sandra was talking before, but they're picking up the donation. Yeah. She approached something like she didn't approach them properly or something.
Yeah, maybe it was the manner that she approached the people in.
This sister, something wrong with this sister. These are the people, these sister and brother and sister, them who, I don't even know what to say. But we must forget our past.
Yeah, I think in the way that she meant it, brethren, was that we should go, think about tomorrow and just, okay, we've gone through what we've gone through, but we're here now. Let's just get on with it and deal with it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The Jews don't even, let's read about the Jews.
Yeah.
Every day they're with something.
Yeah, for their
and
past.
we, after 400 years, we must forget our past. I think this is I don't know.
Bridget, out there are a few black people in the community that, they say, okay, slavery's done and this is done and that's done. I'm here now. What's done is done. Let's just get on with it.
I think there's one, the last call is one. Disrespect her, but if she's going to phone, they'll come and say we must forget our past and accusing Sister Sandra, but she didn't approach people. I'm going to go back. Look, when they had the Black Remembrance Day, right? Yeah. I was giving out some flyers. I wasn't pushing to the people. I said, excuse me, you don't mind accepting one of this. And you should see the response we get from our own people.
They didn't want to know.
They didn't want to know.
That's right. And right? You wasn't asking them for nothing.
I wasn't going to push it in the face and say, excuse me, you don't mind accepting one of these.
But no, what I'm asking, you wasn't asking them for anything, was you?
Yeah, no.
Right, just to
so for me, you, and everything. And some of them, when they see, I say, look, this concern you, brother. Oh, and then they say, oh, yeah, thank you, bye.
Yeah.
You know?
And then a lot of them don't even read it. As they bust the corner, they just dash it down.
They dash it away.
That's right.
You see? So when this sister come and say that we must forget our past and Sister Sandra don't approach them properly, what's she really talking about?
Boy, well, you know, at the end of the day, you know, Brother Ron, that we got, our community is so diverse that it's unbelievable.
I don't, you know? Diverse is not even the word. I don't even think, we hear something else, man. Anyhow, come on.
All right, Bridget, you keep it locked. One love for the call. Okay, London Town, 0958504906. Can we forget our past? The Jews, every day you heard Brother Ron say it, every day they're getting some kind of compensation, recognition, retribution, whatever, for their past. Okay, what about us? Gen 1, what's your name, please?
Yes, Patrick from Hackney.
Sorry?
Patrick from Hackney.
Yes, Patrick from Hackney. What would you like to say to London Town?
Yeah,
Bridging, your phone's cracking up terrible. What, you on a mobile? Okay, yeah, Bridging, try and phone back again. Couldn't hear, couldn't understand what you were saying at all. Yes, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Now you're still, Bridging, you're still breaking up. You're breaking up terrible. Gen 1, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
Good morning, Sister Susie.
Sorry?
Good morning, Sister Susie.
What are you saying, Sister Susie?
Well, I know you're up, right? I thought I'd send that if you send it. And I just wanted to say,
no, Sister Susie, hold on. You're cracking up as well. You're sounding very... What, you on a mobile?
No, I'm on a mobile.
All right, keep talking for a while.
Well, when Brooks and the lovely apple is moaning to and this about Brooks to blast a good time and no one needs to
No, I can't understand the words, Susie. Yeah, sorry about that.
Anyway,
all right, see you. Yeah, on the town, we're going to keep it rolling. Boy, you know, the airwaves must be blocked up out there. Gen 1, what's your name? Where you're calling from, please? Sorry?
Hello?
Yes, Bridget.
Yeah. Yes. If I'm not fucking fuck. Every year, you have to remember, I want to do what done them, yeah. The gentleman watching them and done them in the war, no. Just remember what was done to us in the past. It's right. I want to remember what was done to them in the past. We didn't have slavery. Slavery was imposed upon us. And people are not dead to hatred. Yeah?
Bridget, sorry. Bridget. Well, slow it down because you're coming through very kind of scrambled, so slow it down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
I don't say that.
Sorry, we lost that call, London Town. Come on, phone line. Clear up yourself. Bridging, if you'd like to call again, 0958504906. At the same time, you know what? I'm going to try a little reverse business. I'm going to make a call and see what happens. Okay? So bear with me a second.
Commissioner Ross, Word up, it's
Tell
the
them the number,
rise.
son. Tell them the number. Tell them the number.
Yo, son, 0958 504
That's right.
906.
Word is bond.
Call up. 0958-504-906.
Number to call. That's right. Structure right.
91.6 FM, the commissioner show.
Word is bond.
Bond.
This is the D-Grim structurized Everest.
Yo, what's the number, Don?
Reads 0958.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, Bridget.
Uh-huh. Yes, Bridget.
Okay, this is Genesis Radio.
Good afternoon. Bridget, what am I... Oh, man, what am I hearing on this phone? What am I hearing on the radio? Listen, you know something? To the last two callers...
Turn that radio back down.
All right, hold on. The lady that called saying that she's had enough of black people because of the situations that's occurring every time she tries to do anything. I can understand her point.
Yeah.
You understand? But unless, unless she's done statistical research and analysis of all the factors that's governing these black people's conditions, she cannot know. And if she cannot know, she cannot make a judgment. You understand?
Okay, so but what I think is that she's going by her personal experience, and you know, as you know, there's no better teacher than experience.
Virgin, I know that, but liberation of black minds don't take a year, neither does it take 10 years. Remember, even the scripts that you read, she says that 1,000 years, hundreds of years, even thousands of years,
that's right,
black people will be under this condition.
That's right.
Now, someone who's been brought up under these conditions for 35 years, for 25 years, for 19 years of their life, ain't going to automatically just turn around and then all of a sudden believe in black liberation.
For real.
You understand?
It's going to take time.
When I send you, I don't know if you've got it here, but I send you a script from the psychological development of the black child. I
haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you ain't seen it yet? I addressed it to 138 Lewisham Way anyway. Yeah. Now, it talks exactly about the conditions of the black people and what we're facing right now. And seriously, we can't afford to be doing what we're doing, coming on air and saying that we've had enough of our own black people.
Yeah, but Bridget, do you acknowledge that there are people out there that, you know, they've tried, you know, they've kept fighting and they've continued despite all the odds. And I'm sure, again, you know, Brother Eddie, when you're fighting in this struggle there that we're in now, right, there's times when it's a very lonely, bitter, times when you just feel like giving up. You know? Yeah,
but the reason why in statistics research it shows that the suicide rate of any nation was high in the sense of in the white race, and the white race compared to the black race, it was very high. But recently...
Very high for who? The white race or
the white race.
Okay.
Yeah, but recently statistics have proven that the black race have become very suicidal. There's been a great number of black suicide, both in America and in this country, and these are facts, statistical facts. Now, for years and years, thousands of years, we've known struggle as part of life.
Yeah.
We took on board as strength rather than weakness. So for us to all of a sudden turn around and committing suicide, you know that there's something wrong somewhere.
For real. Well, maybe it's that we just can't take, you know, you can only, people can only bear so much. Some of us, our shoulders are bigger than others. Some of us, you know, when our shoulders are not that big. And there comes a stage when you just can't take it, you know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Virgin, but then it goes back again to the development from the time the sperm kisses the egg.
Yes.
That the child, the dot, that represents the life force, the Rah of God. It already has the ancestral knowledge and the parental qualities of his mother and of his ancestors. Already he has the ability to cope or not to cope, depending on the condition of the parents, the condition of the ancestors. So this
isn't that the ability to cope under normal circumstances, under, you know, like natural circumstances? Because what we're living here, what we're going through, is not normal and it's not natural.
But that would also be conditioned to how our parents saw the situation.
Okay.
How we were conditioned by our parents, how our parents' minds were conditioned. Because remember, just like life has memories, the mind also has memories of past life.
Yes.
And past solutions to problems that should be solved. So if a child being brought up, whether the life struggles is normal or is not normal, the psychological effect will be either detrimental or an asset depending on the condition of that child and the condition of the mind of the parents bringing up that child.
Okay, well, all right, you got the child that was abused sexually in a home, taken out, put in a home, abused in a children's home, and then goes out on the street. Now, would you say that they've been prepared?
Obviously not, because of the past experience of his lifetime.
Yeah.
And so it's going to take reconditioning of the mind. In the African tribe, there is the Bantu tribe. They call all children, all animals, Bantu, and all man and woman, Bantu, meaning God. Now, a child growing up with the ability, knowing that it's one with God, also identifies that there is nothing that it cannot accomplish, because it believes that it's one with God, maybe not in quantity, but in quality.
Yes.
You understand? So then you have to re-identify. That's what I'm saying, that it's going to take a very long time to re-identify with these children that are willing to take on the police because they think that, you understand? Yeah. And it's going to take a long time for us to bring the children back to focusness from the point of where we were once.
Yes.
You understand?
Okay.
The origin of destruction started from the 325 BC by the invasion of the Great Hall of Alexandria, when Alexander the Macedonians came and invaded Egypt. Now, there was nothing great about him. They call him Alexander the Great. He's only called Alexander the Great because he killed Africans.
He was a plunderer and a murderer. And
you understand?
Yes.
How come they don't call Hitler the Great?
Yeah.
Because he killed Europeans.
Well, boy, if you talk to the BNP and the NF, they called him great.
Well, there you go. Well, that's because he killed Semitic Jews, and Semitic Jews were half mixed with black blood.
That's right.
That's why they were called. That's why the BMP calls them. But anyway, I'd like to listen to the show and what people London Town have to say. But please, London Town, remember, these are kids that need to be re-identified with their black essence. Yes. We can't afford to be talking the manner in which we're talking. You know what I mean?
Okay, Bridget.
All right.
Enough respect.
Peace.
All right. Okay, London Town, you hear that? Can we afford to be talking in this manner? Our children are listening, okay? Let's have some more confidence in ourselves. Gen 1, what's your name? Where you're calling from, please?
Hi, it's Nikki from Streatham.
Yes, Sister Nick.
How are you?
I'm fine, you?
Oh, okay. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Good.
I just want to ring up and just say a few words of comfort and encouragement to Sister Sandra and Sister Dee.
Okay.
I know how you're feeling, because I was like that. I've been doing voluntary work for 5 years, working with a lot of young black boys in Clapham with learning difficulties.
Okay.
And I got despondent, disillusioned, fed up. You know, it was my time in the evening that I was taken out trying to help these young people, and you got no thanks, no nothing. But as I said, you know, perseverance, keep on believing that things will change.
So did things change for you? Or have they changed yet?
It changed for me in the sense that it made me a better person. See, the thing is that you don't necessarily do things for other people. Sometimes it can be that you can change as a person yourself.
You benefit from what you're doing.
Exactly, it's self-development, and that's what it did for me more than anything. It made me a less selfish person.
Okay.
It realised that instant gratification is not necessarily the answer to everything. And I just want to say also is that when Martin Luther King, he was 26 years old when he started the bus boycott.
Yes.
He didn't get a good response from the black community. A lot of black people said, no, I need the bus. How am I going to get to work? I've got children to feed, blah, blah, blah. But he kept persevering. He kept on and on. And eventually they woke up, realised that, yes, we can change something.
Okay.
So I just want to say to Sister Sandra and Sister Dee, keep on. I know it's hard work. I know you're going to, you know, you're going to have good days and bad days, but keep on. It will change. And I just want to say to Sister Christina, a few wise words here. The white man plants the seed of racism. It is we black people that is watering that seed. We're making it grow, and that seed has turned into a weed that is now strangling us.
Yes.
We have to take responsibility for our own actions. When she says forget the past, another few words. A tree without no roots cannot prosper, and its fruit will not develop. We need to look at our past, because it is our past that has got us where we are today. Okay? Thanks a lot.
Big up for that. Okay, London Town. Yes, we love to hear the strong black woman them phoning in. This is the Gen 1 91.6 FM People's Talk Show. Good afternoon, you're tuned to Gen 1. What's your name, please?
Good afternoon, this is Sharon from East London.
Yes.
I'm just phoning up to say about the thing about forgetting our past.
Yes.
It would be easier said than done if our past wasn't repeating itself.
Okay.
In the sense that black people still don't get no justice, black children still don't get no education, we're still discriminated against.
Yes.
Look at all our black brothers that are taken into police custody.
Still in jail.
That don't even come out.
Dying in custody.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, so this... that we should forget our past. It's not that we don't want to forget our past, it's just that we're not given a chance to forget it, because the past is repeating itself day in, day out. The young black guys on the street of today, they are the ones that are suffering now.
Young black men.
Yes, the young black men that are like my age. I mean, I'm only young.
Yes.
You know, and the young people that are out there today, they've got nothing to stand up for. They've got no rights or justice to stand up for. If anything happens to one of us out there, two people are just going to step over and say, you know, it's just another black person.
Black on black, that's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so at the end of the day, me as a black woman, I would love to bury my past and move on. Not to say that I'm not going to take and learn from my past, because we have to. That is where history and education comes in.
That's right.
But I find that black people have trouble not even letting go, but carrying on, going forward, because we're still being dragged back by the system. It's not. I'm not saying that black people or us as a black nation don't do enough to put ourselves back.
Yeah.
But I think, especially in this day and age, this black consciousness now is a lot more at the forefront than it was even 5 years ago.
Go, that's right.
Now, I think it's moved forward. I can see it's moved forward.
So we have progressed.
Definitely. You can't say that we haven't progressed to the stage that we're at now. It's just to be able to say, well, anything that has been done to us in the past, we know about it, and the thing is that you can't do it again. It's a bit like if you've got a friend and you lend a friend money and the friend ain't going to pay you back. You ain't going to lend that friend money again, are you?
That's right.
Innit? You're going to learn from your mistake, and rather than giving the money, you might say, well, let me come and buy you a meal, or... Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
or pay whatever bill that you need the money for. Just
but you're
to
not giving them the money. Yeah.
Exactly. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
so we move forward. We are moving forward, and I don't like to hear black people coming on the radio, you know, putting down black people in the sense that, you know, we've got to stop harping on about our past, because our past is so much of us.
Our future.
It is so much of us, and it's our future, and we have to teach our children.
Yes.
You know, about our past and about the future, and hopefully when we're teaching our children, my children is 9 and 6, and hopefully when I'm bringing up my children, I can teach them, yes, there was bad that happened in our past, but through that bad came all this good. Now look at that.
Isn't it, sis? So, you boy, well, that big up, because what you're saying there is that we have progressed. We've moved on.
Yes, of course we've moved on, and mustn't let nobody else think any other way. We have moved on, because if you say that we haven't moved on, then that means we're still back in the slave age.
That's right. That's right.
And if we've got the mentality that we ain't moved on, then we ain't going nowhere.
We're not going
nowhere. Stagnant.
That's the truth.
We ain't got no hope. So if we're giving ourselves no hope, how do you expect other people to give
us any, or try and help us, or
try and help us? God helps those that helps themselves.
That's the truth.
You understand?
All right, sis. Enough respect for that.
All right, big up to the station anyway.
You take care.
And you,
Keep it locked.
Bye.
Yes, London. What's happening to all you men? Listen, you know something? How come it's always the sisters them that have to phone up and firm up the nation and firm up the community? It seems like the same thing what some sisters phone up and say, they're running the house, you know, and they're keeping the community together. It's coming through on the radio, on the airwaves stuff. Where are you men? What are you dealing with? Huh? What are you dealing with? Call if you'd like to call back again, 0958504-906, number to call. This is the People's Talk Show on the Genesis, big Genesis. Good afternoon, you're on tune to Genesis. What's your name, please? And where are you in London?
Hi, it's Jay from New Cross.
Yes, Sister Jay.
Yeah.
What would you like to
I
say?
listened to all the conversations what's happening, yeah?
Okay.
And, like, I've got 2 sons myself.
Uh-huh.
And, my son, when he started school, right, he was free. I'm dealing with the police, yeah, but it stretches back before the youths them even get big, right?
Okay.
All right, then I got 2 sons, yeah? And, like, when one of my sons started school, he was free, yeah? Nursery, as you know, yeah? So the teacher told me, she looked at me, like, he was there about 2 weeks the most. And the teacher looked at me and she called me in one day and she said to me, like, your son's too bright, yeah? She's going to have to put him back, yeah?
Okay.
So I'm listening to the teacher and I heard what she had to say, yeah? So I won't even tell you what I've got to say because I dealt with her anyway, yeah? But over the air, I cannot speak like that, right?
Children listening.
Right, and I put her in her place, yeah?
Okay.
So she tried her best to deal with my youths in the sense that I would back down, yeah? Right, for instance, dealing with the sand, yeah? They play with sand in the school.
Yes.
Every day my youth come home, sand's in his hair, you know our hair already grease everything, yeah?
And sand that's cut out black people's hair.
Right. So you and I know no good, right? So I told her, like, don't let my youth play in the sand, yeah? Because every day he's coming home and enough hair, right, at the time.
Yes.
So the sand would stick up in there and I can't get the sand out. You know, you have to wash that and continue. So I'm telling her about my youth and his culture. She's telling me it's part of their subject, what they're dealing with, yeah? So this woman, she ain't got no idea. She doesn't want to learn about, like, the black youth, yeah?
Yes, yes.
So every day I'm up to school and I'm dealing with her, yeah? And told she had to go around my way in what I'm dealing with, yeah? So me and this woman catch up every single day. So back to the subject when she's telling him that she's going to put him back, right?
Okay.
The youth's only 3 years old. From the youth's them born, the dad would teach them certain things to do with maths, English, all reading.
Yeah.
So when he stepped into the world, they can see this spark in the youth, yeah?
Got a chance.
Yeah, right? So she don't like that. So as I'm saying, to enough men out there, they've got to deal with their youth in the right way, yeah? Because women, we carry the youth for 9 months, and there's nothing what I'm not having, even if it's little simple things, I'm not having it to do with the youth, yeah? Where a man would look at that and ride over that, yeah? Because it's nothing, yeah?
That's
but
right.
for men out there, you've got to be with your youth 24/7 to deal with your youth, to progress your youth, teach them about the world. It's not worth having the youth and not teaching the youth nothing.
So you got to prepare him. You got to prepare him for out there.
You have to prepare them because it starts from in the school with the white teachers trying to dominate your child.
Yes.
So you have to deal with them and show them. Enough of the youths them today, they're not getting that. So when they grow to all 14, 15, even younger, they're lost in the world because there ain't no one to show them nothing. The struggle ain't done, it's just beginning, it's repeating itself all over again, so it's very fair to keep your child in the dark.
But you know,
yeah.
It's a beautiful point that you make, you know, about the men and how your son's daddy actually the first 3 years spent a lot of time with them, teaching them and preparing them for the world outside. You know, because there's a lot of men out there that they don't actually realize that they have that responsibility. After you've carried the child 9 months, the responsibility is on them, even for the next 9 months or the next 3 years. You know, to instill something in a child that, you know, they're ready.
Yeah, they're ready. And I'm going to say another thing to do with the school. The head teacher, the deputy head, he teaches my son. So we had parents even a couple of weeks ago. So he looked at me and he said, like, your son will go far.
Yes.
Yeah? And we know what we've done with the youth to get like that. But they believe it's their works, what they're doing. You understand me? But he looked at me anyway. He's a genuine man still. He's got a black wife. He's got half-caste picnic. So he looked at me genuinely and he said to me, like, the teacher what your youth had before tried to keep him back.
Yes.
And I said to him, I know that, and I looked at him and I laughed.
Yeah.
Because you send your youth out in the system, yeah? You can't just send them out there like that and don't teach them nothing like what you know.
You understand?
It's impossible for your youth to survive in the system. You understand me?
So then what we need now is to start getting our own schools and doing our own thing for our youths.
Yeah, I would agree with that still. And I'm behind any line. If it involves putting money to progress, I'm behind that. I would definitely back that.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes. Okay,
even my youth, look, huh?
Carry on.
No, I'm saying my youth even looked at me yesterday and he said to me, Mum, I want to speak my own language. I said to him, like, what do you mean? He said to me, like, where do I come from? I said, you was born here, yeah? Your mum and dad was born here.
Yes.
But your grandparents, Grenada, Jamaica, even your ancestors on to Africa.
Yes.
So I said to him, I'm trying to get into him to see what he's dealing with, yeah?
Okay.
So he said to me, like, he's 8, he said to me that he wants to speak, like, the Trinidad language and whatever, because he hears the older heads.
Yes.
He likes that. He lives here. He's 8. He's not silly. You can read everything,
That's beautiful.
Yeah?
That's a
so he looked at me and he said that, and I was, boy, them things there, it makes me feel good.
Yes.
To me, you know, it makes me feel good to see that the youths them of today, from you teach them right, they would acknowledge certain things that's going on.
Yeah, they're thinking about their past and they want to be in touch
right.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I have to say still. But you have to, for the man, then you have to be behind your youths them 100%. Don't just have them and leave them.
Yes.
Because they're going to suffer.
Yes.
Yeah?
All right, sis.
All right,
Big up
then.
for that. Big up for
all
that.
Right, then.
One love.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, on the town 09585049006, and I hope all of you will have got it locked to the Big Gen 191.6 FM. You men, you're having your children and you're running away. Huh? You're leaving your responsibility. There's a word for them men there, you know. It's called infidel. Good afternoon. You're in tune to Gen 1. What's your name? Where you're calling from, please?
Greetings. This is Brother Nia in Edgware Road.
Yes, Bridget. What would you like to say to London Town?
I'd like to make quick comments on 2 points. First point on the education system in this country.
On the education?
Yes.
Okay.
It has been proved that BNP members are on the school boards of our schools.
Yes. Yes.
It has been proved.
Okay.
Well, I found 2 members of BNP in Thamesmead. One of them is founder member of the BNP, and they're the people in charge of our school system, and they're also the teachers in our school system.
This is sad. This is sad. This is sad.
Actually proved who the guy was and where he come from.
No. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Tell me this again.
The founder member of the BNP is on the school board in Thamesmead.
In Thamesmead?
Yes. And I believe he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one. Because when I was at school, there's enough teachers that like from the army, ex-army, who been African and shooting up black people and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There are people that are teaching us.
Yes.
So that means it's in their interest to keep you know what I mean? They have their teachers to enforce it.
And we know what they think of us already.
Exactly. So it's not in their interest to go teach us black history and things. And the other people I want to talk about is black history.
Yes.
Black history goes beyond slavery.
That's of course. Slavery is just young.
And when people start saying, I don't teach them about history because all they're getting angry about slavery, what about thinking better about themselves, about the pyramids and the community system we have?
That's right. When we
had factories 6,000 years ago, electricity 6,000 years ago, eye surgery.
And the greatest navigation system in the world.
Exactly, we had architecture, we had mathematics, we have architecture.
That's right.
It's something to feel good about. And it gives a young black child something to strive for, to recreate what we used to have. It's not just slavery and white people beating them. It's more than that.
That's right. That's the truth.
It's far more than that.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? You see, Bridging, what you're saying is correct, you know, because there's a lot of people, black people, that only go, when they talk about history, they go back to the days when we was taken out of the motherland. But
that's what they get in school.
That's right.
That's what they get in school.
Yeah, but if we go back further, we'll find that everything these people know comes from us.
Exactly. All the sciences came from us. To do the pyramids, you need mathematics, and you need geometry. You know what I mean? You need chemistry.
Yes, physics.
Chemistry comes from chemet.
Yeah.
Chemet mystery, because I don't understand the chemicals we was using, so they called it chemet, which means black, and it's a mystery.
That's right.
It's a black thing.
Chemistry. Chemet, which is black.
It comes from the word chemet, which means black.
Chemet,
the black mystery.
And
it means black mystery.
Black mystery. That's what chemistry means. Okay. Big up, Bridget. Enough respect for that call.
Yeah, I mean, so what I'm saying to black person and the black children, you have to do your own research outside the school system.
Yes.
Do your own research.
Yes.
It's not in their interest to teach us what we are supposed to know. Number one priority is to learn about melanin and what it does and what it's for.
For real.
And then the rest will follow.
Okay, Bridget.
Right, I'm out, yeah?
All of the young people heard that. See? Big up.
Right, respect to everybody in the Edgware Road area.
Okay.
And everybody. Right, we're going.
One love. Big respect going out to all the people in the Edgware Road area. Did you hear that, children? Don't rely on the teacher to teach you your education. Go beyond that. Research yourself and find out your African history. Gen 1, what's your name? Where you're calling from, please?
Yeah, Sandra from Peckham.
Yes, Sister Sandra.
Yeah, I just want to find up and say, apologies for saying that, you know, but I just feel sometimes, as the woman said, disheartened. But when I hear positive people like what I'm hearing now, it just picks me up, and I'm still going to carry on doing what I'm doing.
For real, sis, you know, because...
But as I said, it's like I know we're making it, you know, but I just see that, you know, because a lot of us are making it, we're tending to be more European than African descendants, you understand what I'm saying? And that's what makes me feel so disheartened to know that, you know, there's beautiful black people out there that are making it, but are not, you know, giving nothing back to where they come from, you know, but as I said, I would always love my race, and I know that, you know, the positive ones keep me going. Okay?
For real, sis. Big up for that call there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Keep it locked. Okay, boy, everyone out there that's feeling despondent right now, have confidence and keep going in what you're doing, because we're going places, saying this is our time, and 97, me say, from the beginning of the year, 97 is we year, okay? So keep going. We're going to break this. Gen 1, what's your name, where you're calling from, please?
This is Sister Sharon again from East London, and I'm just phoning to back up that sister in that phone just a minute ago, Sandra, Sister Sandra.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that she phoned back and said that she ain't giving up on us black people, because enough people have given up on our race as it is. We don't need each other to give up on each other. In that way, we ain't going nowhere.
For real, sis.
You know? So I'm just there to say from the east side of the river that I'm backing her.
Okay.
You know? And I'm sure enough of them over here that can hear you, that are picking you up, are backing her as well.
For real. Okay,
right.
sis. Big up for that.
Take care.
Yeah, London Town. We're getting the most support now. This is what I love, you know, because we're all family. See? And anytime any one of us get despondent, there's supposed to be others around who will put their arm around them and say, no, man, come on. We've got to keep going. It's for the sake of the race. Gen 1, what's your name? Where you're calling from, please?
Hello, my name's Fiona. I'm calling from Catford, but I don't want to go live.
Well, you're live, sister. You've already said your name and where you are, so you might as well...
I just want to make a few points, but I don't want to go live.
Okay, I'll tell you. Have you got a pen there?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? In fact, sis, I'm in a studio on my own, so I wouldn't even be able to take...
Is there nobody with you? I can just make some points with them and you can just relay them over.
You might as well do it, you know, sis. For real. You know, they've heard you already. Come on, don't be shy.
The first point I just want to make is when one of your callers called in and said that slavery is a thing of the past.
Yes.
If slavery is a thing of the past, presumably then black people are free to go about and do what they want to do.
For real.
Well, exactly.
But that's not the case, is it?
Well, exactly. So how can slavery be a thing of the past? Black people are still in chains. We're still slaves.
Well, you know, I think...
You were out in Catford on, was it Tuesday?
That's right.
With the altercation there. And a policewoman come up to you and told you to move on. Why should you move on? What have you done wrong?
You understand? You're
right.
a black
and
man.
The next point I want to make is Jews still remember their past. That's why they are so far ahead in society today.
And so powerful,
right?
Yeah.
And so black people should remember their past as well, because if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going to.
For real. For real,
right?
sis.
And they are still seeking reparation. Said in the news that they're going to try and get money out of these Swiss accounts. That's holding money for their forefathers and ancestors.
That's right.
Well, perhaps we should seek reparation as well, because it was our blood, sweat and tears that built up this country and built up countries like America. When are we going to get our money?
For real, you know, and that's something that we're going to do a whole show on that.
And my next point is this lady who called in who said that she was getting a bit fed up because she was trying to collect some money to send children, was it to Africa?
Yes.
And she was just getting fed up. Well, I agree with her on her point, but I would also like to make this point. The money she's collecting to send the children away on,
cultural exchange.
Pardon, right? Their parents, right, are striving to attain material things and superficial things, i.e. their fathers always strive to see they can drive the biggest and the best car, right or wrong?
That's the truth.
Right?
Well, yes.
Sorry, can you just let me finish?
Okay.
Their mothers are always striving to see who can wear the best and most expensive weave-on, wig, and the best jewellery and the latest fashionable clothes. Now tell me something, right? If they have got the time and the money to expend on these kind of material things, do they not have time to see that their children's education is paid for or at least helped along?
Oh, so you're talking about private education now?
No, I'm not talking about private education, but the children who are to be sent on these trips, say to Africa or wherever, I don't know.
Yes.
Right? What are their parents doing towards it?
Towards the children going?
Yes.
Okay.
What are their parents doing?
Well, I don't know, you know, but you see, sis, I don't know, that's a hard question because they could be disadvantaged children, they could be children that have no parents.
Fine. If children are in homes,
yes,
right, or in state institutions and need help, fine, I will give all that I can.
Okay.
But people cannot expect other people to give and help their children while they are not interested themselves.
In their own children. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, if I have a child, right,
yes,
and say, for instance, the child is not doing well at school in, say, maths,
yeah,
and I can, say, like, send them off to a little tutor a couple hours a week.
And get up on their maths, yeah.
And get up on their maths. I would gladly do that. If it means me going without a pair of shoes or going out to nightclub every weekend, then fair enough, I'm prepared to do that. How many black parents are prepared to do that for their children?
I think there's quite a few, you know, sis.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think there is. I'd like to think there are quite a few.
Okay, let me ask you now, have you got children of your own?
No, I don't have children.
Okay, well then...
I'm drawing from one personal experience. Perhaps I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say anyway. I was in a relationship with somebody, and he drives a Mercedes car.
And he's got children?
While his partner also drives a car, and they're all, dressing up and going out living high life. Now, their children are on 6 weeks holiday.
Yeah.
Right? And they want to send their children to, like, little summer school, and it's going to cost them money, right? And they are not prepared to pay that money.
To send their children to summer school?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? You see, on that point there, I'm going to say it clear for all children, right? Because I'm a firm believer in summer projects. For all parents, if you are so tight that you can't pay for your child to go summer scheme, all right, which is something that takes them off of the streets and gets them involved in activities that will stimulate their mind, then if the police come to your door for your children, it's your fault, because that's the price that your child had to pay because you thought that it was too expensive.
It wasn't worth it, exactly.
For real.
Because at the end of the day, you're saying your child is not worth it, and I just think it's very sad.
Yeah.
Okay, if you haven't got, if you're unemployed, and you can't afford it, then fair enough.
Yes.
But I just don't think that people should be expected to give when the parents themselves
are not giving.
Bothered.
That's the truth, and I agree with that totally. Yes, yes.
Okay, those are my points.
You see, and you didn't want to go live, and you come live and you represent yourself beautifully.
Oh, thank you very much.
You take
and
care.
I'd just like to say, well done to the program you're doing. I started off listening when you were talking about Stephen Lawrence and the Stephen Lawrence family.
Yes.
And what happened to them. And I can't believe that the woman and her husband has had the strength to go
to carry on so far.
Through.
Haven't they been icons for the black community?
Yeah, I think they must have halos around their heads.
For real.
It's not visible to us because, I can't believe, these people have been put through. And then, we talk about, slavery is a thing of the past, we're all free. If we were free, what are they going to do? Look at the other cases that have been in the spotlight. That school teacher who was stabbed to death. 2-2s, they found his killers.
That's right. That's right, and it was all over the place.
The director of public prosecution, her husband was mugged. 2-2s.
They found the muggers.
Exactly.
Yep.
So why are black lives not worthy of investigation?
Well, this is the message and the signs that they're sending out to us. So it's we just got to take it on board for ourselves and deal with it ourselves. That's the only way. That we're going to get anywhere. Because if we wait for the police and the government and the authorities, as it were, that's in power, you know, to protect us or to change the situation, then, you know, personally, I'll say it's going to be a cold day in hell before we get there.
Well, exactly. Well, I'm just sort of waiting to see what Tony Blair and his people are going to say and do.
For real?
Yeah, I think we've just got to give them a bit of... We know we're not going to come over 100%, but I think they'll give us a bit chance, more than the last government did.
Well, I'd like to see that, you know, but...
Sort of but we still have to sort of take a leading role ourselves, because at the end of the day, we have to help ourselves.
And you know what? I'm going to say something which may sound contradictory to people out there, but you see the Labour government, personally, I think they're going to be worse than the Conservatives.
I must admit I'm inclined to agree with you on that point, because I think they're pandering to Middle England too much.
For real. You know, and you know what Middle England thinks about us.
Exactly. They're more interested in getting their votes and their confidence more than the traditional black voters.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think we're in for a rough ride still.
Yeah.
But sis, thank you very much for that phone call.
You're welcome.
You know, and I've got to say it again, for someone that didn't want to go live, you're a very strong, positive black woman out there in the community, all right? Don't be...
I like to think I am. I mean, I don't have any children, but I live in Catford. I walk around. I see certain things that happen.
Yes. So you got an opinion,
I have
you know?
an opinion.
Right. Well, then, you know, never be afraid to express that opinion.
Right.
Okay, sis?
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
You take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Gen 1, what's your name? Where you're calling from, please?
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, we have a male, a black man that's actually phoned in. I don't believe it. For the last 15 minutes, I've had bare women. What's your name, please?
LG.
Okay.
LG from Brooklyn.
What would you like to say, Bridget?
Well, I've been listening to you.
Yes.
I've promised myself not to call.
Oh, good.
For certain reason, I didn't want to call again.
I know. I recognize the voice.
What I want to say is that some of us seem to just sit around and listen and ready to criticize. I hope we stop thinking and cut out these things. Okay? Right. My main subject was listening to a program on Monday, Premier Radio.
Yes.
And the presenter asked, why is it that black people is at the bottom of the ladder?
Okay, can I stop you 1 second, right?
Yeah.
For all of the people that don't know out there, Premier Radio is a Christian radio station.
Yes.
Continue, Brethren.
Yes. So the presenter said he liked people to phone in to say why they think black people is at the bottom of the ladder.
Now, I'm shocked to even hear that they will be discussing that kind of thing.
Yes, they do.
Okay, continue.
They do. Anyway, quite a few people phoned in. There's a gentleman, a West Indian.
Yes.
He said he'd been in this country 40 years.
Yes.
And he never had any trouble with white people.
Okay.
Which I cannot understand. And he's blaming all the youth and everybody.
Yes.
No. The main one is this. One African gentleman phoned in. And he said there's two types of black in this country.
Yeah, you talk about a gentleman that got... Oh, carry on.
Yeah,
yes.
There is two types of blacks in this country.
And what are they?
One is the West Indian black.
Yes.
And the other is the African black.
Yes.
And the African black is educated.
Yes.
And the West Indian black is confused.
Oh, my God.
So this is why I have to let you know, because I'm sure you didn't hear this one.
Yes.
And all the thing that goes on, the West Indian black go out and do it. They go out and steal. They go out and do the robbery. They go out and do it. So the African is more intelligent. They're doing much better.
Yes.
And you name it.
So obviously he's living in a dream world. He's not on this planet.
Exactly. Exactly. Because I don't know what these people...
That to the parents.
Yes.
Forget this, don't do what I do what I say business.
Okay.
Forget that.
Yeah.
children learn from experience.
That's right, like
if
we all do.
Doing the right thing, they will learn the right thing.
Yes, yes. That is a plain and simple message. Children learn from experience.
There's no point in sitting there with 6 fingers in your mouth and saying, don't use so, it's not good for you. You know what I mean? That's my message, so I'm out, yeah?
For real, Bridget. Did you hear that, London Town? Children learn from the experience, not from your talk, not from don't do what I do what I say. See? No, they learn from experience. Whatever you leave your children open to, whatever you do in front of your children, they are learning. They're learning from that, London Town. We're going to take this call. Gen 1, what's your name? Where you're calling from?
Hello, this is Jason from London.
One love, Jason. What would you like to say to the whole of the capital?
I'd like to talk about the Stephen Lawrence case.
Yes, please.
I think it needs to be addressed.
Yes.
Well, my problem is I'm trying to tell people that, you know what I mean, what they're actually doing is they're trying to send a message, right, to their own people that basically can do anything to black people and just get away with it without the threat of the law or anything happening to them.
Okay, you're saying that even though on the back of the present Prime Minister calling the Home Office Minister to reinvestigate the whole case?
Yeah.
You know, do you think that that's the situation? Because what they've actually said is that they're even going to they're going to investigate the police and see how they handle the case.
But you've got to look at it like this, yeah? What about the wider issue? I mean, it's sending out a message, like, to the civilians on the street, I mean, the police and that, I mean, look how many channels you have to go through just for a simple case like this. It's point blank, you know what I mean?
4 years, Bridget.
It's just point blank. They've obviously done what they're accused of, and what's going to start happening? There's going to be less respect for black people on the street and that, and you can see it happening already.
That's right. Well, now you're touching on the point of the attitude of the police.
Yeah.
For real.
So I just think that, you know what I mean, we really need to come together a bit more and show them that, you know what I mean, as a people, we're not going to stand for it. Forget the law and all that, because it's just not for us, obviously.
Yes.
Because you shouldn't have to go through all of this, you know what I mean? Because it's a test on our responses as well. I mean, like, it's happened and, like, no one has done anything about it. Everyone just left it to them. You know what I mean? It's them people that done it. It's their people that actually have done it. The police's people. So, you know what I mean? I just think it's ridiculous now, man. I do have sympathy for the family and that, but I think we need to show them a bit more understanding and, like, what we're going to do about it, truthfully. Because, I mean, no one stuff about it since you've opened up the lines either.
That's right. Well, again, I think people are a bit weary, you know, and they're thinking, well, maybe we should just wait and see what they're going to do, you know. Don't jeopardize the situation by saying what we want to do.
Maybe that's true, but I mean, it's got to end somewhere, isn't it? That's what I'm trying to say.
For real, Bridget. For real. You know, thanks for that call, and the whole of the city heard you.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
Enough respect.
Yeah.
Okay, London Town, the Stephen Lawrence thing. How comes you all are not speaking of this? You know? 4 years is taken for them to reach the stage that they've reached now. Is it just a token gesture to the black community? Genesis, good afternoon. What's your name? Where you're calling from, please?
Good afternoon. This is the first time I'm phoning. This is Sister Sharon again from East London.
Big up, Sister Sharon, first time caller.
I'd just like to put my opinion in about the Stephen Lawrence case.
Okay.
I don't think that, well, obviously we haven't got justice as far as that guy is concerned, nor his family. But I think the reason why it's still at the forefront of everybody's minds is because the family, i.e. the mother of the family, will not let it go.
Yes.
And speaking as a mother, I'm sorry, but I could not rest until the people who done it to my child
were brought to justice.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
You understand? But the thing is as well is that there is a lot of other black people
dying.
dying out there. And I'm not saying that the families or the relatives are not bothered about it, but maybe they just haven't got the same pull or the same backing, or
the same
look
publicity.
at even the record that they made for Stephen Lawrence. I mean, big up to that, because that has given so much support and awareness to the situation. But how many records or things like that have been done for other black people that have died in police custody or been attacked on the streets?
Well, maybe, you know, sis, if all of the artists now decided to do that, the charts will be full up of records about people that have been killed.
Yeah, but at the same time, sometimes it needs that, how can I put it, that forcefulness, that oneness to show that it can't keep on happening. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think it needs people that artists and singers that are bigger than the average black man and woman on the street to bring it to the forefront of people's minds,
to the
you know?
public,
I mean, the thing is that these people that are going around killing black people, harming them, they go around with the attitude, well, we're entitled to do it because we can get away with doing it. And really and truly, as the law and justice stands is now, they are getting away with it.
That's right.
You know, and there's nothing that is being done about it. And I think Tony Blair is being put in a position that he has to be seen to do something about it. Because he knows, as well as the people that he's got backing him, knows that the whole of the black nation is watching
what he's going to do.
To see what he's going to do.
That's right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So he's got, I'm not saying that he ain't going to do nothing about it or nothing, he's going to come of it. I am one of these black people that are waiting to see what is going to happen.
For real.
But I'm not saying that you mustn't give him the chance, because you must have a man enough rope to hang himself.
Yes.
Not to say that he's going to hang himself, but you've got to give him the chance.
The chance.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, it is.
But at the end of the day, I fear for my own children on the streets of today.
So, okay, you got children. They're on 6 weeks holidays. What are they going to be doing? Where are they going to be?
Well, you know, I'm one of these parents that I don't let my kids out of my sight. Now, that is not the way that I want my children to grow up.
No, it shouldn't be the way.
No, it isn't the way I would like my children to grow up. But at the end of the day, I have to think of my children's safety, security. My kids want to just get up out their bed, run up out on the street all day, like we used to do when we was on holiday. And that was fun when we was young, because we could do it. We could stay out on the street until 10 o'clock at night, and our parents would know that we're safe. You can't do that nowadays.
That's right.
You've got to have your children under wraps. So for me, boy, these 6 week holidays, they're just going to have to do what I can do with them. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm looking to come out of this country, because my kids can't get the freedom that they deserve.
For real, sis.
Do you understand? My kids can't just come out their house and run up and down and feel free and easy, and I feel free and easy in letting them out there.
Run up and down, because you know
understand what I'm saying?
For real.
So at the end of the day, I'm not saying that I'm going to be running away from the situation, but I know that my kids cannot have the life and the freedom that they deserve in this country.
That they're supposed
it's just not possible.
That's right.
You know, and I'm not saying that we're here fighting a losing battle, because if we don't fight, things will never change.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, as far as freedom, as far as their liberty, as far as their education, just as far as their conscious awareness of life, you know, I think it's better that me personally, I go to where my people are, which is Jamaica, and, you know, bring up my kids and live the life that I feel that my kids deserve.
So isn't it even rougher in Jamaica, though?
You get rough parts anywhere in the world.
That's the truth.
But it's it's where you live, who you mix up with, who you bring to your home. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm a person, I don't have anybody in my house. My kids, I don't even let them have their friends in the house.
And it's a terrible thing, you know.
It's a terrible thing, but at the end of the day, who can you trust?
For real.
I can only trust people that I know.
Yes.
And I can only protect my own from the evil outside that front door by examining who is in my life and who I surround myself with. Do you understand what I'm saying?
At the same time, sis, at the end of the day, your children have got to go out on the street, innit?
Yeah, they have got to go out on the street, but all I can do is arm them with the awareness what is out there.
Yes.
As far as that is concerned, yes, there's going to come a point where my children have to go out there on the street on their own and walk and defend themselves. Well, I want them to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And the only way they're going to be able to do that
is
if
if you
I
equip
teach them.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
they get that teaching from their father. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of children out there that are getting in trouble, they have not got the backing of a stable mother and father. Under one roof.
A lot of them, you know.
A lot of them. You understand what I'm saying?
They
so
got the mother, but it's the father, it's the men that's not doing their job.
Yes, it is the men. At the end of the day, it's for the men. I mean, we as black women, I mean, for how many years have you heard us been cussing and carrying on about our men don't do this, our men is whatless, blah, blah, blah. It ain't doing that, and it ain't changing them. It's for the black men to see that it needs to be changed.
Talk to the black men must talk to each other.
Yes, yes, you know, because at the end of the day, all they're doing is they're breeding these children, and especially these boy children that are coming out now, and they're just replicas of their whatless fathers. And I'm not saying that all of them are whatless, you know, because there is a lot of fathers out there that stand their ground, do what they got to do, and follow their responsibilities.
For real.
But then there's too many of them that are going around just having this child here, that child there, and they can't even look after themselves. You understand? They can't even support the car that they're driving, let alone support a child.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
so everybody, they can go out there and they can have their fun and they can have their fling, but at the end of the day, know that if you produce a child after that...
You got a responsibility.
You got a response for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there's too many women, whether it be black, white, or any other, that has to be carrying this responsibility of the children, of the house, of the bills on their own, you know, and it's not to say that we can't do it and we're not strong enough to do it, but boy, don't you think it'd be nice to have a black man by the side of you?
To have some help, that's
do you
right.
Understand what I'm
that's
saying?
the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly. And I am one of the lucky ones.
Yes.
I am one of the lucky ones because I have a man who don't need to be told.
Okay, big up to your man. Big up to your man. What's his name?
No, really, put it this way, I'll give you a clue. He's a regular phoner on your radio station every single Sunday.
Okay.
And you've already spoken to him today already.
Yes, I know who. Big up to your man, see?
You know who, but, you know, back to the subject of the kids, and, you know, but at the end of the day, all we can do is, while I am here, while I am stationed in this country still with my family, I'm going to do as much as I can to bring up my children
in the right manner.
In the right manner. And, you know, I think as well, I do really believe that is where it starts. It's from within the home.
Yes.
With your children, from when they're all a month, 2 months old, you know. The child knows if it opens his mouth too tough that the parent will come running.
Now, well, I'll tell you what, you know, for all the listeners out there, right, all the men listeners, your child, all right, you see when your child's in your womb, in your stomach, men speak to your children.
Oh, I'm glad you know that, because I've been through the same experience. I'll give you a small thing that happened to me a few months ago. I was sitting at home, and at the moment I am expecting, okay? And my partner turned around and he said to my stomach, if you're a boy, kick once. If you're a girl, kick twice.
And kick
twice. Right? Now, this was before I knew what sex this child was.
Yes.
Anyway, we went to the hospital, and I find out it's a girl.
Oh, baby. Well, then she never said already she kicked twice, did it?
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. I'm just saying that from in the womb they respond.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? They ain't stupid.
So that's a point. Men, you know, you just heard that. You all must have heard that, right? You all, when your wife or your partner is pregnant, talk to your baby, man. Forget the mother.
Believe me.
Talk to your baby. Kneel down.
People think that's madness. It's all joke and laughter, but it's a serious thing.
It's a serious thing.
Just like if the mother is distressed and all the rest of it, and you know, things ain't
it's not good for the baby.
Come out stress out.
That's
got
right.
Stress on its mind.
So
already.
men again, don't when your queen or your partner is pregnant, don't argue with them. Don't upset them. It affects the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all true. And people, you're mad, you don't know what you're talking about, it's all rubbish. But until you go through it yourself, you ain't
For real.
know.
For real, sis.
Anyway, I've had up enough of your time. I best go and cook my Sunday dinner, and I'm going to finish listening to your radio.
Big up the whole family,
All
see?
right, you take care.
Okay, keep
Bye.
it locked. Good afternoon, this is Gen 1. What's your name? Where you're calling from, please?
Greetings, Commissioner.
One Love Bridging. I know that voice.
You know this voice?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Sola.
Okay.
You recognize me?
Yeah, man.
All right.
What would you like to say, Bridging?
Well, I've been listening to the show, and it's I'm learning a lot. The sister that just came off, respect to that. I was listening to that, and I was nodding my head and saying, yeah, you know. One of the thing that I want to say really is that the situation affecting black children, African children in this country today,
yes,
is a situation that has arisen as a result of a war. Because we must not forget that we are actually involved in a war which is taking African people away from a knowledge of self.
Yes.
It's a war which has implications and has manifestations all over the world. What we see here is just the English manifestation of something which is happening in Africa, the Caribbean,
South
in the
America,
States, in Australia.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying,
Yep.
brother?
For real, everywhere.
Unity is the key. One of the things that taking one away from the knowledge of self does is it prevents the person who's taken away from that self-knowledge from being able to adapt to changing situations and to express themselves competently and positively in the many situations in which they find themselves. So this would prevent people from operating on a business level, people from operating on a health level, from operating on a relationship level. All of these things are a result of a war which, because we are not conscious that we are in a war, we are losing slowly. Now, as we become conscious that we are in a war, we then recognize that the time scale by which we live on the 9 to 5, the way in which we organize our day, is not our way of organizing the day.
Yes.
We have to recognize that for many of us, myself included, we still need to work, and that 9 to 5 is part of our reality. But it does not mean that as we wake up in the morning, that we don't make a start with something that is spiritually positive, something where we will say, I give thanks to the Creator for the start of this day, and we start the day on our time, and we punctuate the day throughout the day with positive affirmations and visualizations and prayer. And we make sure that we spend at least 5 minutes a day meditating on who we are and why we are here.
Yes, and what our purpose is.
And what our purpose is. Because you know what, bro? The whole situation with the children, how will the children learn what we ourselves don't know to teach?
Yes.
The children are the way they are because of the way we are. And in order for us to learn a knowledge of self, we have to decide to make a decision to take the stance of starting, making a beginning of learning more about ourselves and learning to be comfortable with ourselves. So the upshot of that is that in knowing more about ourselves, knowing more about our traditions, knowing more about the education process as well as the education content matter. In knowing more about those kind of things.
So the parents now have got to actually get more involved in the whole education process.
My brother, you took the words right out of my mouth, seriously. Because the parents are themselves, ourselves, I should say, because I'm a parent myself. Ourselves, we often, in the way in which we deal with our children, are expressing lack within ourselves. We need to recognize that, for example, the brother that called and said that we need to learn, children learn by imitation, as we all do, in fact.
Yeah, that's right.
And children watch what happens.
Yeah, don't do what I do. Don't do what I say, do what I do,
So if we are to function on the level which we're supposed to function, especially as men, because I'm carrying on from the point that the sister made before. We have to recognize that, for example, business is easy to start where you have neighbors, because if you have neighbors, your friends can become your business partners. once you start doing that, your children will see that you are providing for yourself and that you are providing for your community.
And
your children will then learn that and follow that, and they will go on to even greater levels of doing the same thing that you've made a beginning in.
And they will also learn the relationship of friendship and to see that the actual black community working together as one.
My brother, I think you're in tune with me today, you know? Seriously. That is so true.
Yes,
all of those things, it's a holistic thing. Learning more about yourself is a holistic thing. The more you learn about yourself on a spiritual level, the more holistically you are able to apply that self-knowledge to every situation that you may be involved in.
That's right.
This is following on from the tradition of African spirituality, which is all about self-knowledge. And to talk about other religions, I don't want to diss any religion in specific, but simply to say that if your religion does not give you knowledge of self that empowers you to operate on a practical level in the community, this religion, because that God is not for you.
That's right. It's a dead God.
That's right, man.
That's the truth.
That's right.
Enough respect for that call, brethren.
Thank you, brethren. I enjoy listening to you, so I enjoy talking to you. Just keep up the good work, because this is information that people need to hear, man.
Yes, brethren. Okay.
All right, brethren.
You take care.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, London Town, this is the Big Gen 1. 0958504906. And for a moment, the phone has gone quiet. Black men, you have a responsibility to your children that is unimaginable. See? Now, yes, we know our queens carry our children, bring them forth into this world. But, you know, you have a responsibility. I'm going to, listen, there was a time, you know, you see as a youth, when I was a little bad boy, I used to walk up and down the front line in Brixton, Railton Road. Sorry, phone call, we lost you. And I'll tell you one thing, you see like all now 6 weeks holiday, I'm not talking about too long ago, okay? In those times, 6 weeks holiday, you had the most children. You had women that used to come up to front line and drop their children off. Now, the men up there, right, was just selling ganja and just, you know what I mean, there's a word, lavishing, seeing just floating around and doing their thing, hustling and making their money, playing dominoes, cards or whatever. The women, and I'm not talking about a man's woman, you know, women used to come up there, leave their children on the front line. There was a little play center there. Leave their children in the play center and go about their business. Now, I see this with my own two eyes. The men on the line that used to be the scum of the earth, bad boys, used to look after these children. If the children come out on the street and was running up and down, they used to say, what are you doing? Where you going? If the children didn't get nothing to eat, I see men, you know, hardened villains, take money out of their pocket and buy lunch for a dozen children on Brixton front line, London Town. This is how we used to be, you know, in a not too distant past. This is how we used to be. You know, the men used to, even if they wasn't in their yard looking after their own children, they was on street looking after someone's children. And nothing happened to none of those children whilst they was there. And the children learned a lot just from being around a man's environment. Regardless of whether it was a bad environment or what, but just from being around a man's environment, the children learn a lot about survival, how to survive in this country, England, London, city, in these times. What's going on? It seems to have changed, you know. Come on. Our children are out there. It's 6 weeks holidays again. 1997, our children are out on street. Now, they're vulnerable. They are like sitting ducks. You know, when you go to the circus and you get a rifle and the ducks come up and you have to shoot them down, that's how our children, that's a situation our children are in. You've heard callers say they've had to keep their children, don't let their children out their sight 24 hours because of the dangers that surrounds them, unnatural dangers. Good afternoon, this is Gen 1. What's your name? Where you're calling from, please?
Yeah, this is this big man. I want to call me Peace.
Oh, what are you saying, Bridget? How are you?
All right, thanks.
Okay, hold on. You see, yesterday morning you phoned in the show, Bridget, and I had to cut the phone because it was getting a bit out of order. But I'm glad to hear that you phoned today, and you know how it goes, see?
Yeah.
Continue now.
Sir?
Continue.
Yeah, I'm concerned the front line I used to walk upon.
Yes.
I think, to be honest, really still, I know it was positive that they should see men out there, black men and so on, kids them should see black men. But I would never let my son walk up the many times that I contemplate upon the front line. Because when you look up, there's a lot of man used to smoke a lot of ganja and all these things.
Yeah.
I feel that most of these guys and probably who pick up the ideas from smoking ganja, test it, experiment it.
Took up the ideas of what, brethren?
Sorry?
Took up what ideas?
From the front lines, you know, of man have them ganja stiff and chat rubbish and
the children.
have them knife out, peeling, killing all this nonsense.
Yes.
So in a sense, although you might say them, you know, the front line might be interested, I see it as negative in a way.
Okay, even though, as I said, as you heard me say, that children used to come out there and nothing used to happen to them, man used to feed them and look after them for the whole day.
Yeah, I'm agreeing that there is some positiveness about, but at the same time I'm saying there's some negative.
There's a lot of negativeness.
Sorry?
There's a lot of negativeness about it, yes.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, to be honest, really, you can really see direct that sometimes, although there's a bit of contribution,
yes.
You know, it doesn't make no sense if people contribute to negativeness to a person at the same time.
Because
if
it's
helping me,
yes.
and directly you're going to inspire me to do something rubbish, then it's not good.
That's right.
I'm concerning my brother I heard speak about kids should directly learn by experience. I would say it's better for people directly not to learn by certain experience.
Yes.
But therefore, they should be warned about experience in certain things, because I was born in Jamaica, as I can tell by my accent, of course.
Yes.
And my grandmother used to warn me about certain man smoking and ganja and all these things, and she used to give me an example.
Yes.
And I'm glad that I follow her example, not to, you know, experiment or even taste his stuff, because she was showing people who was chatting and cussing out a place called Rockfort.
For real,
right?
okay.
At Rockfort, you find a lot of different men used to swing out there, like with, you know, whip and, you know, machete and all these things.
Okay.
And you think wood and smoking them ganja.
So, brethren, do you think that is the influence of ganja that has made them man do what they done?
Sorry?
Do you think it's the influence of the ganja they were smoking that made them do them acts?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The influence of the ganja, right? Make some of them become, you know, behave in such a wild way and don't see reality as reality should be seen. So therefore, directly, I would say directly, a man must be careful what they start really showing to kids are presenting to them by, you know, in a way of...
on the airwaves.
Not thinking about what the consequence may be.
Yes.
But concerning mental illness, to be honest, really still, I think the suicide, matter of fact, suicide we speak about earlier, I think it's going to increase due to the whole economic and political situation, and plus the family, understanding and love that should be shared.
So you don't see no way, brethren, of kind of us, you know, changing that and making it not increase?
Sorry, I'm missing. Sorry.
I said, don't you see any way for us to actually stop that increase and to make a change to you know, to stop people even considering suicide?
Yes, of course. Yes, there we have to compromise on the mother and father and the single woman. They know who of them. The man, have them kids for the man, and decide that they don't want the man to see the kid because in the different relations, some of these women have to start to really come now to say, well, then, you know, let my son have my daughter see the father, allow direct I'm in different relationship, because you get to find out directly some of these boys or girls who may commit suicide, if they had a father to relate to directly, sometime more from extended family, then they wouldn't. They probably wouldn't, you see. But the factors in contribute to suicide and all these things is enormous. But most sociologists directly speak about the benefits of the father. Most psychologists, people like Durkheim, people like Michael Argyle, they speak about directly when we have people to confide in.
Okay.
And you know, it's really beneficial to have people to speak to. And the more people have to directly deal with and communicate with who will give us positive information, then we might have a chance of overcome our depression and things might prompt us to commit such an act. You follow me? But as I say, you know, there's more. We need more education and more positive thinking. You know what I mean? I don't think, to be honest, really, I don't want to criticize him, but I don't think any Rasta in this life still is in a role model. I can't criticize him body and so on. But I don't think there's any such a thing as as Rasta worshiping some half Arab man or anything or some mythical God or so on.
The worshipping of any man.
Sorry?
The worshipping of any man.
Sorry, I miss you. I'm not getting you.
No, I said you don't. What you're saying is that you don't believe in that we should be worshipping any man.
That's it. I don't believe so we should be worshipping a sort of mythos, a misleading doctrine.
Yes.
And we must to understand what is misleading. But as far as much I would like to elaborate on what is misleading and what, I have to think about this phone bill because the brother at the moment is not so, well off as he would like to be financially, so the brother has to make a move. Only director who would like to call me back, I could give him a number half the year. But I think there's a lot of people want to call anyway. So, I just put over my point and I hope people may learn.
Okay, Bridget.
My whole analysis of the whole situation is not to mislead people, but it's to propagate information that people may think about and they might learn from.
Yes.
And at the end of it, it may not be turned out to be paradoxical.
Yes.
In that sense, made sense or no sense.
Okay.
You follow me? All right, brother, come in, sir. Peace be unto you. Bless,
take care, Bridget.
Love, man.
One love.
Right.
Did you hear that, London Town, from the Ognistic one? He's saying, in terms of what I said about the children on the front line, there's a lot of negative attitudes that the children picked up out there on the front line at the same time. One of them being the smoking a ganja out there because enough of them, they got the message that, it's an all right thing to do. Children, we're going to make it clear, we're not advocating that you should smoke ganja or anything else, cigarette or anything for that matter, okay? But I was put in a situation there, I was showing you what it was like. This was something that I actually experienced. It wasn't a situation that, I thought up in my mind and thought, this could be. No, this was what it was like, for better or for worse. Is it worse? Is it worse now? How many of you black men out on street when you're gathering and associating actually look out for the children, or would even talk to the children, or would even ask the children if they're hungry, or would say to, you know what I mean? And then again, it's a lot harder now because, boy, the children are being told by their parents, don't talk to no stranger. If a man offer you this, don't bother with it. So obviously situations have changed. Times have changed. Is it changed for the better, or has it changed for the worse? But at the end of the day, I don't feel the we fathers, it's so easy to drop your seed and produce a child and you're gone about your business, okay? What about that child? What about them? You know already, you done already know that the woman cannot grow up that child on her own. And worse still, if it's a boy child, she can't teach him how to be a man. And if it's a girl child, there's things about a man that the mother won't be able to teach that girl child. You will know. So, and this excuse about, the baby mother won't let me see the children. Forget it, because there's children out on the street and they're yours as well. You understand? All that children belong to us. Gen 1, what's your name, where you're calling from?
Hello, I'm a listener from East London, Hackney.
Yes, Bridget, what would you like to say to London Town?
Basically, you're saying about the youth and the father's response for their kids and so on, right?
Yes.
Now, one thing I'd like to draw people's attention to, if you look at the Caucasian society, right,
yes,
the father's role in the family is to go fishing with his son, go down the dog tracks with his son, maybe go to a boxing match,
or a football match,
or to the pub with his son, and a lot of his social community education, that is where it comes from.
That's right.
That is how a lot of their indoctrine come over to their son when they're walking along, strolling, talking. If you look at, let's say, the West Indian or the black community now, as you say, they drop their seed, they disappear, and the common boast for a black man is, my son is going to be a bad man. You understand? They don't tell them, as you say, what to look out for, and so on and so on. And what I would say, the question you're posing about where shall we send our kids for the holidays, I think you're posing the wrong question. What you should be asking is, where are you fathers going to find and spend time with your kids, not only the boy child, even though the boy child needs to know how to respect a man as a man.
Yes.
Right? But the question is, where is the father going to make sure he provides somewhere for him, not only himself, but also his family unit.
That's right.
Spend time as a family, because the 6-week holiday is the time that you actually get. When you get the breaks during the year, you get your Easter and your so on. Those are the times that you actually get to spend time with your kids.
Restructure your family and firm up everyone.
Yeah. And if you look at what we do most of the time, the father's gone raving, and the pitney is the child is either stuck indoors with the mother or by the grandparent, or he's off by his business and they don't know where the child is. You understand? So it's really and truly, certain questions, when we pose them, we should look at what we're actually asking each other.
Yes.
You get me?
Yes.
Because in saying where we're going to send them, even though I'm not saying a summer camp ain't good,
but should we really be sending them anyway?
Or if you send them, you've got to reinforce it with your actual commitment to the family unit. You can't just send them and say, that's it. That's what they need.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah. You understand?
Yes.
And the other issue that I just wanted to bring up, right, is that we're saying about we need education and we mustn't forget our black roots and so on and so on. Now, there's something that I never hear spoken, right, and it may cause controversy. I don't know. You might have people phoning up and saying that you've got listeners talking madness on your station. But something which I think a lot of the black kids need to be aware of, even when they are like putting down England, because I'm not a person who's in favour of how England is governed and run and how it deals with us, right? But you need to be aware that England has had 2 black queens of England.
Yes, name them.
Sophia, was it Charlotte, Sophia, and Queen Philippa.
Queen Philippa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? And Charlotte was the grandmother of Queen Victoria.
Yes.
So you're not talking that long ago.
Yeah.
But because those information is not put out to the general public and put over blatantly and straightforward, just like you'll hear about Queen Victoria, you'll never hear them say, oh,
Queen Charlotte, her grandmother was black.
Right. And if you go all over Europe, from Sweden to France to Germany, you'll find that nearly all these countries had black royalty. Not just ordinary black people on the streets, but they had black royalty. And what you'll find is that the Europeans married into black royal families from Africa so that they could establish their proper royalty, because they didn't have royalty. They had leaders and family leaders.
Yes.
You understand?
Clan business.
Right.
Yes.
And where they actually got their royalty from, the royal blood from, was when they started mixing seeds with royal families that came out of Africa.
Yes.
Right? Also, one thing I'd like to make aware to the people, is that if you dig for history about the black race, you will find that there is so much history outstrips literally every other culture. And I'm not, when I say black history, I'm not just saying Negro history. I'm talking Asian history, which is incorporated with us.
Yes.
And
every
so
history is incorporated with us.
Right.
Yes.
And you'll find that this Great Britain and Ireland was first inhabited
by black people.
Black people.
That's right.
Even though it was interbred with the Anglo-Saxons and the Vikings and so on, you'll find that the first original race that inhabited England was a black race. And if you look at certain things that are going on, you'll realize why you've got so much ginger-headed, dark-toned people in Ireland and Scotland. Right? And then you go into where the kilt comes from, you go into where the bagpipe comes from, you start going into things like where the actual dislike for the Scottish people, the Irish people come from, right? A lot of people put it back to, it's because of this and that happens in Ireland and Scotland. But if you dig deep enough,
black people,
you find that there's an underlying dislike for them because of
their black inheritance,
compared to the of Southern Britain.
There are even some scholars, brethren, that would say to you, I don't know if you've ever heard of the 12 tribes of Israel that's in the prophecy. There are some scholars that would affirm that the Irish people are the lost tribe of Dan.
Yes.
You know, black race.
Right, but see, and this is things like this, people sit down and they'll see the problems in Ireland and the problems with Scotland and the problems in Europe and even like the First and Second World War, and they'll say, oh, it's because Hitler was getting out of order and Mussolini was getting out of order. They don't look at it as, oh, that's when they were trying to all these European countries was trying to share up Africa.
Yes.
And because one person wanted more wealthier part or more
than another,
that's where the war actually originated from.
Yeah,
because they were all fighting over Africa. It never really had to do with Europe.
Yes, they wanted to carve out the motherland.
Right, but because we get taken away into the history books as they were written, we lose the actual point as to why we're being dealt with how we're being dealt with. Because a lot of our actual history has to remain hidden. Because if it isn't hidden, a lot of what is going on today and what has gone on in the past is insignificant and unexplainable. It's just foolishness.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, brethren. So what you're saying now is to all of the students, all of the parents, everyone basically, we need to dig a lot further into our history.
Yeah, because a lot of people either look at it as from the war days, black people come to England, or from slavery. Days. But you've got to look further back.
Yeah, it was here before.
For information. You have to go places like Oxford University and see the picture of the Black Queen.
Okay.
And go to Westminster Abbey and see the carving of the Black Queen.
Yes.
And then you'll step back and say, well, boy, if there's been 2 queens in England, how come I never hear that on the news?
That's right.
How come I never see that in the book?
It was never taught that at school.
How come my children go through life thinking, I hate this royal family because it's white people trying to put down black people?
Yes.
You get me?
Yes.
There's lots of little things, and you work out deeper why things happen. Now, I would also like to just let you know, education thing, right?
Yes.
I'm a person, I actually work in a school, and I work with a lot of kids that are disruptive and bad and can't settle in, right? And a lot of them, the black kids, when I pull them out, be it West Indian, African, Somalian, whatever race, even Asian, right? And I pull them out and I'll say to them, do you know what education is? And as far as they are concerned, it is something which the European or
white man's
man,
team.
however you want to describe,
it's a white man's
trying
team.
to force on them.
Yes.
They don't realize that it is part of their heritage, which has been changed up and used in a way to control them. You understand? And when I start, I know occasions where I've explained this to a kid and he said, you don't know what you're talking about. And then I explained to him the mysteries of the pyramid. And then I told him to go back into his lesson and ask his teacher who built the pyramid. And when his teacher turned around to him and said, oh, it was black race.
Yes.
The whole class was, what are you talking about? You understand me? Things like this is what is missing. And because the kids don't ask the questions, and because no one's telling them, go and look for, they don't know the real reason why things are happening to them in the world. You understand? Even mathematics, the easiest mathematics is 1 to 3.
Yes.
Not 1 to 9 or 1 to 10.
1 to 3.
Right? It's 1 to 3. It's an Egyptian method of mathematics.
Okay.
Everything is counted in 3.
Okay.
Right? And I've been to an actual university and heard a lecture saying that is the easiest form of mathematics you can find anywhere
in the world.
5 minutes to learn and 5 minutes to teach.
Yes.
And anyone can pick it up.
Yes.
And yet they still teach the hardest method of learning mathematics.
To try and confuse the children. Yeah, they're trying to confuse them.
You understand? And this is what we need to put over to our kids. Stop. We mustn't be driven with, black black people are this, white people are that, black people is this,
Yeah.
you mustn't do this, you mustn't do that. We've got to make them realise that there's a reason why they have to use their head.
Yes.
They have to use their brain, because our brain, we use 5 to 10% of its full capacity. Just sit down and ask yourself, well, what is the other 90% for? Or what happens if I was to use it or tap into that energy?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. You must be able to achieve great things.
Okay.
Boy, brethren, well, you know what I want you to finish up. Tell the youngsters now that's out on the street for the summer, you know, how to drop it.
How to drop it is to, you deal with each other with the same respect that you expect, because respect is a thing which is earned. It's not demanded or taken. Once you learn to respect yourself and respect other people, life is that much easier. Then you do not have to ego trip or fight your friend over foolishness, and you enjoy life and enjoy being young, because that is what a lot of them miss out. They move from childhood to old manhood.
Yes.
And they miss out the enjoyment part, what you have.
Growing up.
Well, the thing that we can all say, oh, do you remember your school days?
Yes.
Wicked.
Yes.
A lot of them, all
Can't
they can
say
tell
it.
you about is, I left junior school and then I started to rave.
Yeah.
And that ain't good for nobody.
Brethren, boy, enough respect for that information there, and the whole of, boy, England heard what you had to say.
Respect.
You take care, all right?
Okay.
Keep it locked.
All right.
Yeah, London town. Boy, I love serious talk, you know. I love it. And I hope that you children on holiday are listening. Good afternoon, this is the Gen 1. What's your name?
Yeah, greetings. It's Brother Neil again.
Yes, brethren.
I'd like to big up that brother to the max. And him being a teacher, he is in the position to relate that information to our black youth.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Big him up to the max, and any more like him, step to the front of our fight.
For real.
Step to the front. But I'd like to reiterate some things that he went over. Like, you know, they like to call when they get Irish people that come over there, they like to call them gypsies.
Yes.
Now, the word gypsy comes from Egyptian.
From Egyptian? Oh, of course, and I've never seen that connection.
Yes, and Egyptian means burnt skin.
Burnt skin.
If you have burnt skin, you're a black man.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So gypsies.
And remember that film Braveheart? Called Pigs.
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 P-I-C-S.
Yeah, P-I-K-S, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And when you learn English history, pigs used to paint themselves blue.
Yes.
That's what they say. Now, a pure African with undiluted black blood is so dark.
Yeah, they're blue.
Blue-black.
I've seen them. I've seen them personally.
When I was young, I used to see them, I used to laugh my head off. Look how black he is, man. He look blue.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's a laugh. These are the original people that come from Scotland. The word Scot comes from an Egyptian queen. So you see, Scotland, land of Scots.
Yes.
Land of people from Egypt.
Yes.
The original name for Scotland was Caledonia. You look at the airway, the airways, what's it called? The
Caledonian Airways.
Caledonian Airways.
The national airline, yeah.
Yeah, Caledonian is an Egyptian name.
Caledonian's an Egyptian name.
Caledonian is an Egyptian name. And like Spain, you know about the Moors used to be in Spain.
Yes.
There's a mixture of black and Arab and Africans is to conquer Spain.
That's right.
The original name for Spain was Iberia.
Iberia.
And what is the name for the Spanish Airways?
Iberia.
That's the name, Iberia Airways, isn't it?
So these people know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
For real. And we're here, we're thinking that, boy, none of these places don't belong to us, you know, and they're just using all of the language that we lost. They are using it today.
Even like more cigarettes.
Yes.
What colour are they?
Are they them peanut cigarettes, ain't they?
They're the long dark ones, isn't it?
Okay.
Black.
More meaning black. Yes.
So the black cigarettes are called Moors, and normally cigarettes are white and smaller.
That's right.
The bigger black ones are called Moors. Check out the words that you're chatting, people. I'm out.
For real, brethren. Enough respect for that. Yes, London Town, this is the Big Gen 191.6. Black people, check out your history. Children, you got 6 weeks holiday. Listen, you know what? Most of these libraries nowadays are very well equipped with computers, and, you know, they even got the internet business. Check out some facts, man. Check out some information. So when you go back to school, you can hot up your teacher and your headmaster and your headmistress, and you can ask them, like you heard the brother call, who built the pyramids, miss? Tell me. And your teacher will be forced to tell you the truth. Listen, I'm forever telling you, children, you know, be proud of who you are. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Gen 1. What's your name? Where you calling from, please?
No, it's me, just back from the east.
Yes.
Again, I was just speaking to you.
Yes, brethren.
The gentleman that just phoned, he said I was a teacher. I'm not a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know I'm a community worker.
Community, you're a fighter in the cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Big up.
Now, what I found because of what you just said.
Yes.
Right. Now, a lot of people seem to think that the history that I'm talking about is hard to find.
Yes.
Right. It is not hard to find.
Very easily available.
We keep getting told it's not there.
Yes.
Right? I can tell you that in your public library, any public library, right, you can go and you can find
this information
that you need to see that tells you about history.
Yes, Bridget.
All there, even down to religious history. There's books that tell you about the real Marys, the real colours of Marys, where the coins that the real Black Jesus faces was printed on. All these things are in the library. They're not hiding it from us.
Yes.
Right? They don't need to hide it from us now because we do not go and look for our information.
That's right.
You understand?
That's
it's
right.
all there. They know it's there. Right? They know that really and truly they should go around and change all their history books, all their education books. They know that, but they're not prepared to do that. They're not going to do that. Right? But they are no longer hiding the information. It's all there in your libraries. All you have to do is go and look for them.
For real. For real. And
museums and so on.
Again, brethren, and I hope all of the children and the students and the parents are listening to this. And, you know, the brethren just made it clear. This information is available in all of your local libraries. Okay, brethren, big up for that call there.
All right.
Enough respect. Yeah, London Town, excuse me a minute. I've got to go and answer the door. Scene, talk amongst yourselves until I come back. Okay, we have the arrival of the Senator B in the studio, London Town, and boy, been a beautiful show. Thank every caller that called in. Now, a couple of things we'd like to finish with. Men, all of us black men, we have a responsibility to our children. We have a responsibility to our wives and to our partners, okay? Whatever you know them as. But to the woman that has borne you children, it is a very miraculous thing. You know, so give them the respect and the honor that is due. You know, if you know for yourself that you're not doing the fullness that you could be doing, that you're not doing as much as you could really do, you know, then maybe it's time for us to start thinking and change, and, you know, and put a bit more effort into our race, you know, because our children, as you know, are the people of tomorrow. They're the ones that's going to lead. They're the ones that's going to provide for us in our days of old, for all of us that's going to reach old age. Yeah, so let's invest in them from now. You know, as I said to you, and as I've continually said, and as other DJs and presenters have said, it's 6 weeks holidays now. The children are on street, okay? They are vulnerable. It's up to you. What are we going to do for our children? Let's just protect them, man. Let's just lead them the right way. You know, men, all you unemployed men, you know, that haven't got nothing to do, consider, even if it's 7 days out of the 6 weeks, Do something for the children. Do something for them. One step that we all can make towards, you know, winning a race together and towards enhancing our children. Simple step, doesn't cost no money, no time, no nothing. Stop calling your children kids. They're not kids, they're children. Kids belong to goats. You're not a goat and your wife ain't a goat. Stop calling them kids. Call them children. It doesn't cost no money. It doesn't cost no pain. It doesn't cost nothing. Just you to be thinking consciously about your race and about what you're calling your race and how you're presenting your point of view over to your race. Okay? You know, some of you may think, oh, that's stupidness. But listen, it has an effect. There are people, as you all know, we're in a war. And there are people that use certain words, as you hear enough of the callers say, to mean certain things. Okay? So let's improve our situation by cutting out certain talk amongst each other. We're going to take this last call and send it a bees in the house, you know, so big things are going on. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis. This is the last call of the show. What would you like to say?
Yeah, good evening, Commissioner. Good afternoon.
Yes, Bridget.
Yes, Bridget. No big criticism, but still, I think you yourself should practice what you teach sometimes, Commissioner.
Okay, carry on.
And think about what you say sometimes. You've been saying kids all over your show.
No, I don't think so, you know, Bridget.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Just a moment, please. Don't. I'm listening to your show. Every time you say kids, my fiancée says children. Every time you say kids, she says children.
Bridget, I think you're getting me confused with someone else. I do not use the term kids. I've even come in here with Daddy Cooley and said, Bridget, don't say kids.
Have you been running the show for the last half hour?
Sorry?
Have you been running the show for the last half hour?
Yes, I have. I've been in there since 11 o'clock.
Well, I'll tell you what, your callers will be the judge of that. Okay. And the other thing, the last point, and just on that point you just made, you don't listen sometimes.
Okay.
Because if that's just your comment, then you don't listen. Listen to, you know, think about what you're saying sometimes, some of the times.
Okay.
Okay?
I hear that.
No man is above understanding of himself.
That's the truth.
If you can put out the words of a good message to the community, also the community can advise as well.
That's the truth.
Huh?
That's the truth, Bridget.
Okay.
And thank you very much for that, you know, because sometimes, you know, we as men and being only flesh, sometimes we get beyond ourselves and we go beyond ourselves, you know.
We certainly do that.
So
I do it myself.
It needs the people to pull us back and say, look, remember that you're still one of us.
Yeah.
So big up for that.
Big up.
Enough respect.
Respect to the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, London Town, the show has come to an end. The last caller, well done, thank you. You reminded me again, Commissioner, you're only human, see? So don't be going on like you're anything other than that. We're all one family, London Town, and boy, it's been a beautiful show, as I said to you. Thanks again for all of the callers that called in, all the callers that never got through. Never mind, I'm sure we shall be able to do it again, seen by the grace of the Creator. And both two bits of community information. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery, 1834 to 1997. Join us in our celebration of Emancipation Day on Friday the 1st of August 97 at the Croydon African and Caribbean Family Organization, 266 South Norwood Hill, London South East 25, 12 noon till late, admission £1 adults, 50p children. There shall be African dance and drumming, poetry, drama, stalls, exhibitions, and African and Caribbean food. Part 2, crack cocaine in the black community, stop the killing rally, part 2, Sunday the 3rd of August 1997. Keynote, Minister Hillary Mohammed speaking on is black on black crime, a government conspiracy, brothers selling death to their own people, young blacks cut down in the prime of youth over drugs. This shall be at the Bricks Theatre, St Matthews, Brixton Road, Southwest 2. I'm just having a look here. they'd also be discussing sisters who sell their body to fund their habit. Okay? That's down at the Bricks, Sunday the 3rd of August 1997, crack cocaine in the black community. London Town, been a beautiful show. One love, take care, and I'm out of here. You got the Senator B, and he's just gonna boss up things now. Set it up.
Yes, got to say good evening, London Town. Got to say maximum respect reaching out to the commissioner each and every time for, as he says, a beautiful show each and every time, most definitely. Also got to say maximum respect reaching out to all the callers, all right, because you know, so without you, it would not be possible. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a short community ad break, and we'll be back on the other side with some music. We go to the hours of 4, and you know what? Our reggae music, you know, yeah.
Are the people station. We are the people station. We are the people station. We are Genesis FM. Genesis FM, London.
Accept your own and be yourself. Thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum.
We are Genesis FM.
Yeah, and London Town, sorry, whilst the jingle's running, don't forget Queen Mother Moore 1898 to 1997, celebrating Sister Betty Shabazz. There shall be poetry, rap, music, dance, tributes, exhibition and food. That's today, 5 o'clock it starts till 11 p.m. and it's down at the Yar Santois Arts Centre, 1 Chippenham Mews, West 9, Tube, Royal Oak and Westbourne Park. That's the Queen Mother Moore celebration today, celebrating some of our black sisters in the community. Appearing will be Queen Mother Moore Youth Group, Poppy Seed, the Koshite Drummers, Jayut Sound, Russ Cosmo, Mamadi and Basha Kamara, Lioness Chant, Brother Naya, Dreadbeat, Tumi Sepula, Russ Anka Anam, Russ Angels, Root Jackson and Sister Roots, Linda Muriel, Vanessa Simon, Ty and Shorty Blitz, Khadijata, Asura Set Society. One love.
Drop out of the palm, you know. His Imperial Majesty's work. A sizzler said that when I put it down now.
The people station. The people station. Genesis FM.
Genesis Station. Educating the younger generation. Shucks almighty.
We are the people station.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. What would I do without Genesis?
Genesis FM.
Hi, this is Sylvia Teller, and I tune into Genesis because they reach.
We are the people station. We are the people station. We are the people station. We are Genesis FM. Genesis FM, London.
Tonight, we bring to you a show to open up your mind. This is the show, you know. And punctuate your inferior complex if you are blind, spiritually, mentally, and physically dedicated. It's this show to all black people who need to be regenerated.